No, I'm saying like girls will try to like. I'm trying to think how to say this. Like girls that are curvier.
Okay.
Will like definitely try to like squeeze into like smaller clothes, and if you were to like ask them their size, they'd be like, no, I'm like a medium or small.
Okay. Okay, I see what
You
you're
know?
saying. Same with guys.
Yeah,
that
it's the
would
same
wear
thing with
boots or like.
no, it's the same thing with guys about their height, saying like, no, bro, I'm 5'9", and like really you're like 5'7", 5'6".
No, bro, you're 5'7".
Yeah, I do think acting like you're 6'2" when you're not is kind of wild. But you know.
Yeah, I fucking love it. Act your height, bitch.
Yeah, that's it.
What are icks for you?
Yeah, what
We're
are
rolling, right?
Country music is an ick for sure. Skinny
Country
jeans.
music?
Skinny jeans, definitely an
It's
ick.
crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
How about fitted? Is that considered
I think
skinny?
like a straight leg. It really depends on how it looks on you. I feel like a lot of guys don't know how to dress for their body type.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
if you know how to dress for your body type, I may not love that, but I could be like, that looks good on you.
Right.
Ooh.
Whereas if you're like,
If you see his dick through his pants, probably not a good idea.
What?
Is it
yeah,
too skinny?
no, more like if someone's like slim and you're wearing if you're like a slender body type and you're wearing skinny jeans as a guy, you look like
You're more. You're showing your skin.
yeah. It's not. There's no riz with that. There's no riz with skinny jeans.
No, Riz. You heard it here
No
first.
riz.
Don't wear skinny jeans, guys. I don't think I've ever put on skinny jeans. Even when I was
they
skinnier.
They had a moment back in like
Yeah,
2010.
like,
definitely.
even when I was skinnier, and like I was skinnier in 2010 for sure.
I just don't. Even if you're skinny, I don't think you should wear skinny jeans.
No, I just felt uncomfortable in them. I felt like my crotch area was uncomfortable, my calves were uncomfortable, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like what? This is why I hate the winter. I hate the winter because I have to layer up,
Yes.
and
as
I don't
opposed to
like
what?
wearing too much layers.
I think it's easier for guys to wear layers than for girls.
I mean, yeah,
We just kind of look like we're homeless if we're wearing
yeah, because you can't
sweatpants
wear. Like,
and hoodies.
I mean, you can still wear long johns underneath your tights and stuff.
It's not very comfortable.
It's not very comfortable for us either. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but you can wear sweatpants and hoodies and no one's judging you.
Fair.
Yeah?
You're right. You got a point.
You can still have riz in sweatpants.
Yeah.
Although I did
For
see
sure.
someone wearing a full Nike Tech fleece here once
Who?
in the club. Someone.
Was
And
I
I was
here?
like, yeah, I was here.
I was here?
No, you weren't here.
Oh, man.
They were wearing full Nike Tech fleece.
Listen, if you
with sunglasses.
Oh, Lord. If you ever see things like this, you have to point it out. You'll be like, yo, T, come watch this.
I just
I love
don't.
looking at people and just laughing at them.
I just don't think a Nike Tech fleece is the.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I can't even imagine how you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm fly. I'm about to grab a lot of honeys with this.
I don't know. Maybe you thought he was in Top Boy.
Oh. I don't know if you guys know where we at, but we're here.
A libertine.
Libertine. Man, big
Libertine.
shout out to my dog, my homie, Yelda. Thank you so much for allowing us to film here. And shout out to Phil, too, bro. Got to give you guys big shout outs for allowing this to happen. This is Libertine, guys, if you don't know. 1307 Dundas Street West, Libertine. Thursday to Sunday, it's always popping. You can come see me. I might ID you and kick you out. You can come see her. She'll probably pour you a drink. You better fucking tip her if you come.
Or I'm not serving you again.
Or she's not serving you and I'm going to kick you out too. So
Yeah.
it's a win-win for everybody. But yeah, man, honestly, I'm so happy that we're doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
course.
Thank you. I mean, Matt, let's go start with your intro,
let's
bro.
go.
because
Let's go.
You know how
What's
we
your
do
intro?
here.
Let's get started.
You know how we do this.
Welcome to the Bigger Dreams Show.
What?
Your girl's favorite pod for show.
What? This guy's rapping.
It's your boy Matt,
trying
aka
to impress
Easy
you.
Money, aka Babyface Killer,
You need to
aka
be on
Mr.
rap.
Boy Girl. Give her back in 3 to 5 business days.
Where does she belong?
The streets.
Beside what?
The blue bin and the green bin.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That is what I thought.
Wow,
Belongs to
rude.
the
You know what it is. It's your
Young
boy
TT.
TT in the cut. a.k.a. Young Jesus, a.k.a. Walking on Water, because I'm always fresh on you hoes.
Jeez.
A.k.a. we're in the building. Honestly, I'm done with the a.k.a.s. We got CC. We got the Young and that only. No, this is Gabby Wabby.
Oh no.
No. Yo, get the nickname out.
No, what they call you? What they call you? You gotta tell them. AKA what? What's your AKAs, Young Gabs?
I went through a really big phase with fuck you mean. So QP ski, Gabby QP ski.
Scratch all the other stuff that I said. That's her name.
There's only one person who's allowed to have that as my name in their contact.
Yeah, and we're leaving it there.
Yeah.
You're not allowed calling her that.
No.
Exclusive name just for the show.
Exclusive. I mean, I'm gonna call her that. I call her a lot of names now.
Damn.
You do.
Yeah.
Name them
CC's
out.
my new one.
CC's hard.
Yeah, CC's my new one. Wabs.
Wabs.
Gabby. Gabby. That's how it was.
Gabby.
Gabby. Gabby. Can I have the gum?
Love all those.
Yeah, we're here. That's it. That's her name. That's it.
Yeah, how you feeling?
How
good.
are you feeling?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good,
Midweek,
good.
you know.
I'm excited. I've been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah, we've been talking about it.
Yeah, we have. And you got him excited because you like Lil Durk too. So I was like, let's see how this episode's going to turn out.
It's crazy. It was a summer at Colty. It was a Colty Sunday.
birthday.
It was my birthday.
True.
It was your
It
birthday.
was my birthday.
Colty Sunday.
And you introduced me to Gabby, and we just got like super quick. Right after you introduced us, we got super quick into a rap nerdy conversation.
Bro, you guys talked for like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like, she was supposed to go take 2 shots.
I'd already had enough shots.
Her girls took like 3 shots without her. You guys are still talking.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, yo, her perspective is like so thought out. Like, you could tell that like she actually studies the game. She's a student of the game.
Jeez.
You know, you work for Rat TV.
Yes, I do.
You're an editor.
Yes.
Okay, cool. You know
That's your shoulders.
let's
Your
just
shoulders. Tell them.
Yeah.
Tell them what's up.
let's just jump into it. Like, what was your journey? How did it start, and how did you get to a point of being an editor?
I was in university for fashion communications, so totally unrelated to music.
Which school?
Ryerson.
Okay, cool.
And we had to do internships, and one of my first ones was
Hold up. For like the Gen Z, it's Toronto Metropolitan.
right, TMU.
TMU, guys.
Fashion communications at TMU, like 5 years ago.
Wow.
And we had to do internships. My first one was with a fashion publication called Coveteur. I grew up reading them, and I kind of was just really into editorial. And then that turned into one of my editors left to a music publication that was a Canadian publication.
That's a magazine?
Coveteur was a online publication.
Okay,
so it's
cool.
fashion. The founders are from Toronto, and they would go into people's closets and like photograph their closets.
What made you love it so much that you wanted to like?
I grew up reading it. So I grew up reading it when I was like in high school.
Oh wow, okay.
So then when I
shit.
could do internships and stuff, I knew they had an office here, and I kind of just obviously wanted to work for them because I grew up reading it. And then I really liked editorial. That was like where I wrote my first article. And one of my editors went to Canadian music publication. She was kind of like, you've already done an internship for me. If you want this one, like, you could have it. I was still in school at the time, and I was like, I like music. Why not? You know, whatever, more experience. And then did that. It was like a very same thing, like small team. So just they allowed me to like do interviews, write articles. It was like a really good experience. And I feel like I already had that base of like the first internship in editorial. I got to do more of my own writing and pitching stuff, and I was doing their socials too. So I did that for about 9 months. And then right before my boss left, they hired me full time as like an associate editor. So kind of doing what I was already doing for them as an intern, but just like a full-time position. And then I was there, everyone ended up leaving. So like not because I got a promotion, but all of the responsibility fell on my shoulders, which honestly was a great thing, because then I got to do more cover stories, and I was kind of the one talking to the labels and securing the cover stories, and just like got more experience, honestly, in like the different sides of editorial. And
was
then
there panic when everything just fell on you?
I was more like worried about like, am I going to lose my job, because I just started there full time recently. But I also think it was like to our benefit that it was me and I think one other girl that was the creative director, that we kind of just got to have complete control over what we were covering, and, you know, the tone, the style, the artists that we were doing cover stories with.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it worked out for me, honestly.
That's really fucking cool.
Kind of like the universe kind of like just told you, oh, here.
It was a lot of work. I did that for like, I think a year and a half full time, plus the like 9 months interning. So like 2 years. I was there for 2 years. It was called Beetroot. Did a bunch of cover stories, and then someone that I had met through a mutual friend, who worked at Rap TV, remembered me and remembered that I worked in music, and he reached out to me and he was like, would love to see if there's like something that aligns for both of us. And he offered me the job that I have now, so I ended up leaving there to work at Rap TV.
Do you like fashion more or the music more?
I honestly love both. I think I love fashion personally. Like, I still care about, the clothes that I buy. I pay attention to fashion. And I also feel like fashion and music are so, like, there's an intersection always between fashion and music.
That's why the girls come to your closet and empty your closet. Now it all makes sense.
I'm definitely the one that spends the most money on clothes, for sure.
Now it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But I remember M and Meeks pulled up one day.
Oh, and they're wearing all my clothes.
And they're like, yeah, we just went shopping. I'm like, oh, nice. Where? They're like, Gabby's closet. I'm like, what? And they didn't go shopping because they didn't purchase it.
No, stuff I was giving away.
They literally just took it from the closet and went out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Literally. What I did realize, though, I feel like doing more interviews in music is that, like, there's so much depth there, depending on the artist, not everyone. But fashion can have depth as well. But I just felt like the more I researched artists and the more I kind of like, obviously hip hop is what I love and rap. I just feel like there's a lot of meaningful stories and pieces, and like that can mean more to someone than,
What are the
not just shit on fashion.
What are the most meaningful interviews to you?
The first cover story I ever did was AJ Tracy, and I feel like that's nostalgic just because it was my first one, but I also had listened to him as an artist for years before that. So it was kind of like I was like, oh my God, I get to interview AJ Tracy. Yeah. And he was super nice, like very down to earth, gave me really good answers, kind of treated it like a conversation, not like I'm sitting down doing press and I don't want to be here. Exactly. Was very like present during the conversation. It was overall just a great interview. So I love that one. A Boogie too was also just like,
that's one of my favorite artists.
yeah, I listened to him growing up too, so that was like another
in your
full
top
circle
5
one.
too, no?
He is. I like his music.
Me?
He's in my top 5 for Spotify.
He's definitely in your top 5. No?
No.
No,
this year.
he didn't release that much this year.
Who's your top 5? I forgot.
Yo, someone who cracked into it, I couldn't believe it. Like, it's not a shock because I love their album, but like Roy Wood's hit 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you love that
Damn.
album. Bro.
Yeah, that album, The Mixed Emotions, it
Yeah.
was crazy. But anyways, going back to Boogie with a Hoodie, like that's actually super dope. I think he's like one of the leaders of like melodic rap. Like, would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. He's been around. I mean, since like what, 2012?
Yeah.
He's been around for a while, like over a
He
decade.
actually has been around for a while.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of, I would say there's like Atlanta. Like when I think of melodic trap, there's Atlanta, and then he was kind of like that New York wave. That was Lil TJ, J.I., Prince of NY. Like Boogie was before both of them.
Yeah.
It's true.
And he blew up around the same time as like a lot of people. Thug, Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like he's still great at what he does.
Wow, that's so cool.
That is so true.
Is there any other ones that stand out to you, or is it just Boogie and?
I love Lil Tecca for like a new gen
Yeah.
melodic artist.
Yeah.
I think Lil Tecca is very good at his niche. Even his last album, yes, it does sound very similar, but he's so good at that one sound.
I fuck with him.
Yeah, I fuck with him too.
I think when you see his appearance, I think for a lot of people, it's like, wow, like it's almost shocking to connect the face with the music. You don't think that would be the face behind the music. But he definitely has a unique way of branding himself, and like you said, like his music's actually really catchy. And
I feel like I love that he looks like that because he so doesn't give a fuck. Like if you look at his social media,
he's confident
he doesn't
with
give a fuck.
He's confident with it.
He's very confident.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the most important thing. Like, I remember looking at his Instagram and being like, oh my God, this kid is lit. Like, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's just living his best life and making good music while doing it.
That's so cool. All right, so back to Boogie with a Hoodie for a second. What's your favorite song by him?
Oh, that's tough.
What was the first song you heard by him?
Drowning, the same one that everyone did, for sure.
Mine was Jungle off YouTube.
Oh, Jungle. I remember
Yeah.
Jungle. I don't know if that was the first one. I have to look at all the Boogie songs I have.
That was like a YouTube blow up.
He dropped a 3-song EP that was really good this year.
Yeah, it was.
Booby Trap was my favorite one off that one. That one was hard. But all time it would be one of his older ones. DTB for Life is good too.
Ooh. I love
DTB for Life is good.
that album, Artist 2.0.
Yeah, that one was so good. Numbers with Roddy Ricch.
I got that on vinyl. That's one of my favorites.
I really did love Swerving, even though 6ix9ine is not someone I care to listen to. But Swerving was good from back in the day.
Yo, TT, what's your favorite song by Boogie?
I don't really have one.
Where?
Because I'm not really like, I'm cool with Boogie, but like I'm not like that.
You're not tapped in like that.
No.
Just Like Me Too with Young Thug.
Word.
That was a hard one.
That's
I should be listening to him more. I think I would like him more from.
I think you just have
I think
to
you
like
like him more
style.
than Dirk.
I think I told you that. I think I did tell you that I liked him more than Dirk around the time you put me on. It was just before the pandemic or during the pandemic.
You know what? That's a good point. I feel like when you think of an artist like Dirk and A Boogie, like when Dirk does melodic, which he does, and he can, doesn't sound the same as A Boogie because A Boogie is so good at melodic. But A Boogie also is not going to rap like Dirk does.
Melodic artist, like from the new generation.
A Boogie?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd consider him new generation. I feel like he's.
Yeah, he's.
See, this is a thing.
I think of him more with like Thug,
it's
Future.
It's true. He's actually been around for
young.
a bit.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. But he was young when he came up.
Yeah,
it's true. He's super young.
Even the young kids still fuck with him right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he can still. He's like Kanye. Like Kanye can be considered in the Drake era sometimes.
Yeah.
But then you can also put him in the
Jay-Z era for sure.
Era.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So that's how I feel about him. But
I feel like
I should definitely listen to more Boogie. Cause like there's that one album, I can't remember the name of it. It came out just before the pandemic.
I feel like that's the one you were talking about.
Artist 2.0. The one
Was
that
it?
I like?
Yeah, and we were bumping that a lot when we would smoke.
Yeah.
We'd link up by the GO station there.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah,
I love
think that album
I
really enjoyed that. I listened to on my own. And I was like, whoa, like this is really good music. I should tap into him more.
So like on it, like not as big of an influence I would say, but I would just like Boogie with a Hoodie in terms of melodic rap. He reminds me a lot of Lil Uzi.
I could see that.
Like he has a big influence in melodic rap.
Uzi's so good too.
Uzi just has the culture, bro.
Yeah, Uzi does have the culture.
Kids.
Hold up. Do you really believe Uzi's gonna have one more album and that's it?
No.
Yeah, it's like Drake quit.
Yeah.
Like
no, I don't take that
like
stuff
Jay-Z
seriously.
Quit.
I feel like for me, as soon as, first of all, like someone like Playboi Carti, you don't ever take anything seriously that he says because we all know the album's not going to drop when they say it's going to drop. Oh, yeah. And I feel like Uzi this year, after he dropped Pink Tape, first he was going to drop his version of like Thugs. Was it Barter 6? His version of like Thugs album. And then he was going to drop Love Is Rage 3 or something.
Yeah.
Neither of those things happened.
Yeah,
he was talking about that. But then neither of those things happened. And he was talking about that right after Pink Tape. So as soon as an artist does that, like in my opinion, it's like I just don't really take your word seriously until a project is actually out.
Right.
And I'm not going to take your word about quitting until you actually like fall off the face of the earth and don't make music anymore.
And say, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't think it is.
No, I doubt it.
Nah, he just had one of the biggest records of all time, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of left
crazy.
turns this year.
Like I don't think after getting a record like that, you're just gonna stop. No, you want more. You want more recognition. You want more of like. I mean, I don't know how much more recognition he can have. Well, he literally has all of Gen Z.
Look at Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty dropped that experimental album, and then now he's still dropping music. He's been dropping a lot of music recently.
I love that experimental album. What
was
your opinion on that?
I like the album too.
I just felt like he's showing us like a creative side that we never saw from Yachty. Well, we saw in his like look and fashion and things like that, but then like we never really saw it in the music because he had that very similar sound that he went with.
Yeah, I respect the fact that he tried to do that. Obviously, that's the music he loves. He talks about Pink Floyd all the time, and like I feel like Tame Impala too. So if that's the music, if that's the music you love, then
that so many times.
How can you not respect the fact that he tried to venture, you know what I mean, out of his sound and do something different? I feel like a lot of the hate was kind of just to hate, you know.
People not used to. I think a lot of us here in North America, especially the hip hop world, we're very close-minded into what hip hop is nowadays.
I remember writing about this when I wrote the A Boogie cover story, and I was like, hip hop fans are the most difficult because if they say they want the same thing, but if you do the same thing, they're upset with you and they're like, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
There's no growth, there's no like variety, and then if you do something different, they get mad at you and they're like, I want the old version of this artist, or I want this album 3 years ago.
That's what they did.
Hip hop fans are the most difficult to satisfy.
Yeah, they did that with the Baby. They're like, oh, your sound is so the same as blah 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 blah.
I really feel like his like kind of cancellation was more of like him as a person.
No, not the cancellation.
Oh, okay.
No, that was just like more of who he was.
Yeah.
And the comments that he said.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, when he was rapping that one style, everybody was like, yo, you're.
Oh, I thought he was good. I thought he was good when he was popular.
I love that. I was like, yo, that's his style. That's what he is. That's what he's known for. And then he switched his style up, and people were like, ew, what the fuck is that? And then the cancellation happened, and I was like,
yeah, I feel like there's very few.
Suck the way it all came together.
I think there's very few rap artists that have such diehard fan bases that they kind of always receive positivity.
Cole.
Like, Travis Scott is one. His fans will die for him.
Oh, man. His fans love him.
Love him.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we were talking about Cole, not Travis.
Kendrick Lamar, too.
Yeah.
But Kendrick always puts out a solid album.
Man, did you see that video I sent you of these British dudes talking about Kendrick?
Yeah.
That was very, like, silly. I thought that was just, like, very, like, clickbait.
What was the video?
They were saying, like, if you listen to Kendrick, you're just trying to be cool.
Again, that's such a, like, hip-hop, ugh.
It's just like, oh, I can't listen to Kendrick with the Galdem. I can't listen to Kendrick with the Mandem. I gotta be listening to Kendrick on my own. It's like, oh, we get this consciousness, but it's like, motherfuckers want to party. Motherfuckers want to get
Well, that's
lit.
why you listen to different artists.
Yeah, and it's like, that's what I'm saying, but you can't say that he's not a top 3 rappers of this generation.
Definitely.
Like, has to be. I don't care where you put him. If you think Drake is better because he gives you more hits and parties and you can listen to it with the girls, kudos to you. But Kendrick is still like a genius. Like, his work, I think his work was so good that he's able, like, he gave us quality that he was able to, like, give me 5 albums and say, yo, I'm good. Not one album, if you genuinely listen to, has not done numbers or, like, music. There's great music.
Yeah, but he's one of those artists that he doesn't, it's not based on, like, him doing press or him being constantly in the news cycle or him being in the news cycle for his personal life. He literally only pops out in public when he's doing an album release, and he does that every few years, and he disappears aside from that. And the only reason he can do that and still be as big as he is because his albums back it up.
His work is so good. Like, you have to have great music for people to still listen to it and be like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy with him. And it's like, Cole was there, but I feel like Cole also figured out a different formula that works for his balanced life, where he's like, I can be conscious, can keep my family kind of hidden, but wait a second, I can actually still make records. So let me go and make records with these artists that fuck with me because they know I'm outside too. And he started a label. I think that his label, I mean, Kendrick has his own, but his label is...
Kendrick's doing PG Lang right now.
Yes, PG Lang is there, but I feel like with Dreamville is like Cole had to be there to kind of get these guys going.
Yeah, it's 2 very different approaches.
Yeah.
Baby Keem is definitely a student of Kendrick Lamar, also his cousin.
Baby Keem is the future.
Baby Keem is the future.
He's fucking him.
Yeah, Baby Keem is crazy.
I put so many, I don't give a, I'm going to say it. I'm never like this, but I'm going to say it today. I put so many of y'all on that motherfucker. That was my guy.
I saw Baby Keem pre-COVID when he just dropped that one EP.
You went to the Velvet?
No, Adelaide Hall.
Oh.
It was like such a small concert.
Because he was there at the Velvet Underground, where we were just the other day. And I had just broke my ankle. I was supposed to go watch him. I broke my ankle, and I remember watching him through a story, and then I saw Drake was there, and everybody hopped on him. I was like, fuck.
I swear that was Adelaide Hall. It was such a small concert, and...
Was that Adelaide Hall?
Yeah. When he had Orange Soda out.
Yeah, he had just Orange Soda out.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing because of TikTok.
Was it? I don't know. I remember seeing that concert, and I'd already started listening to his music, and then I saw the concert.
That was end of 2019, like December 2019.
Right before COVID happened.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
That was Adelaide
You
Hall.
went to the concert. My ass was sitting in
I
bed.
was watching that, and I was like, this kid is going to blow the fuck up.
He's so good.
He did. And I had no idea that he was Kendrick Lamar's cousin at that time, too.
No, I figured out after. I think after Drake had posted him, I did a little more digging on him, and I figured out that he was producing and doing a lot of work with him. And that's when I was like, oh, shit, like he actually has credits on a lot of old shit with production. That's why they say, oh, he sounds like Kendrick. It's like, oh, well, actually, a lot of his production came earlier for that Kendrick sound. So that's very interesting.
It's a thing, though. A lot of...
We'll be right back We'll be right back, and then we'll come back into the conversation.
Yes, sir.
Quick. 2011.
Yeah.
Everything is purple.
Yeah.
Swag.
And that was when he was like popping
ASAP.
off.
That was the
too.
best.
ASAP Rocky was crazy.
That
A$AP Rocky
ASAP,
was-
that early ASAP?
Yeah.
Oh, we got into ASAP.
I saw him when he did the tour with Wiz Khalifa.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a crazy show.
His second album's my favorite by him.
Long.
Ella.
Long
At
Live
long
ASAP.
last.
Yes.
ASAP.
At long.
Yes,
Okay.
that one was good.
I don't know how we got into the ASAP conversation, but we're back. You were saying.
What was the first artist that got me into?
Well, yeah. I wanted to ask you this question: is how did you get into rap? Right.
I can't remember like the full trajectory. I just know that around the time when ASAP was blowing up, I started.
You were still in high school.
Yeah, I was definitely still in high school.
Okay.
It's probably like 16.
Okay.
I started listening to him a bit more, and then I think I got like deeper into like his older stuff before he had that debut studio album that everyone knew him for.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then his visuals were crazy too. And then that was
right.
like A$AP Rocky was literally my gateway artist into
Wow.
into rap music. And then I just started listening to it more and like paying more attention to it. And then I also feel like moving because I grew up in Montreal. And
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, I grew up in Montreal, and I think
Oh, oui.
like oui.
Ça
Bien
va,
sûr.
ça va bien.
Yo, shout out
Ooh.
Francois Baguette.
Yeah, but yeah. Je m'appelle Michel. Oui, oui.
How do you say croissant?
Croissant.
Okay, you don't butcher it. Some people
Croissant.
butcher it. Croissant.
Croissant.
I moved
I don't know French.
When I moved
I'm
here,
just talking so
everyone
much
would
shit.
be like croissant. And I was like,
croissant?
oh my god, don't say croissant.
Oh, is that how the French say it here?
No, it's croissant, but people say
Croissant.
like croissant.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know French. I came here as an immigrant. They're like, nah, you
Well,
need to learn English first.
Growing up in Montreal, the social circle I was in was very white, and I just feel like I didn't really have a lot of cultural influences
Shout
around
out to
me.
the
No one
unseasoned people out in Montreal.
Yeah, no.
She came here and got
No
seasoned.
disrespect. No disrespect. But moving here definitely did. I met so many people from different cultures, and just being around it. Toronto's so multicultural, and I think there's
Yeah.
also a bigger interest, like general interest in rap and hip hop here too.
So quick, you actually like Toronto more than Montreal?
There's things I miss about Montreal. I miss the food. I miss the French vibes. No one gives a fuck.
I
Everyone's
love
very
that no
blunt.
one gives a fuck.
What?
I love that no one gives a
Yeah,
fuck.
in Montreal.
Yo, now it makes sense.
Oh my
why
god,
you're
everyone
you.
says that
Oh, I
to
love
me.
that. No, but
Everyone
I love it.
says
I love it in a good way because it's like, oh, now it actually explains.
Is there really that big of a difference between Toronto people and Montreal?
I mean, yeah, from my experience, yeah.
Okay,
You guys
fair.
have that I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
attitude. Blunt. I like that.
Very
I
blunt.
came from a place where it's like, yo, just be blunt. Fuck all that other shit.
Yeah.
Don't be around the bush. Where here, it's like a lot of people are like hiding. And they
Yeah,
don't
what do
wanna-
you do?
Yeah, like they're sugarcoating a lot of
Yeah,
things.
that's true.
I love you guys in Toronto. Don't get mad at me. But you know what I mean, right?
I think.
Whereas in you guys, you're just like, I love that I don't give a fuck attitude.
Yeah.
To an extent, of course. But it's like, their attitude is more like, yo, just you do you, I do me. Like, we don't give a fuck what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's just keep
Yeah.
going in that sense. Of course, they care if there's something like somebody getting beat up or something
Everyone's
malicious.
just partying, having a good time in Montreal.
Yo,
That's all they
people
do.
in Montreal know how to party.
They do know how to party. Does it make
me.
sense why I drink so much now?
Yes. And it's crazy because I went to Montreal and I partied, but I was younger, so I didn't really go out like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we did. We went to a couple like music over there and whatever, but it wasn't like, I mean, I got finessed by this cab driver and that ruined my whole Montreal trip when I was 18.
It sounds like Montreal.
Yeah, I just turned 18. I got excited. But when I went with Sabrina Claudio, we went to her show in Montreal in 2019. And I saw that crowd, and I saw how much they fucking drank and still were singing word for word her lyrics louder than I've ever heard a show in Toronto.
Yeah,
I was like,
Montreal
wow.
Montreal crowds are way better than Toronto
I'm
crowds.
like, yo, these guys know how to party. They
They're
love to
passionate,
fucking
yeah.
party.
Because that's, the thing in Toronto, I feel like everyone says this too, like, the first Rolling Loud here, I didn't go, but from what I heard from people, it's like the crowd just acts too cool. I've seen it at rap shows too.
You know
I've
what
seen
it
it at
is?
OVO.
Yeah.
You
I've
know what
seen
it
that too.
is? It's because there's a lot of people in the industry in Toronto. Like,
Yeah, but the
it's
front
just
row is not people in the industry. The front row is like fans.
fair.
And the front row can still be like dead as fuck at a Toronto show.
Fair, yeah. Which I don't understand why, because if those are fans, they should be like.
Well, like you said, Montreal doesn't give a fuck. People aren't at a concert to be there to act cool. People are at a concert because they want to listen to the music and they want to party.
Yeah. Like, I'm about to go to a concert on Sunday and I'm a fan of this artist, Emma Lou. I'm singing with like my fucking heart out. Like, you're gonna hear Meek's gonna come back and tell you like, this guy's crazy. Like, when I saw Ed Sheeran in The Weeknd.
Oh my god.
In AC at the ACC, and they were singing Dark Times. I was singing louder than all these 16-year-old girls. I was like 22, 23 at the time. I was like, fuck all y'all. I'm singing. This is my boy. The hell are we here for? Just sit around and like watch? Like, no, I'm not cool. I want to sing. But anyway, I don't know how we got here.
Montreal, no, just that was a big difference between like
Montreal. So Toronto's kind of what got you into the hip hop.
I think I was already on that path, but I think overall it was like it was one of those things where I moved here and I was like, oh, I think I just found so many more things that I relate to or that I have in common.
Did you ever go back to like old school rap when you started listening to rap, or you just kind of
probably not? I mean, I definitely remember listening to Kanye when I was younger and like early Kanye too.
Right.
Obviously everyone knows Graduation, Through the Wire, that whole era.
Yeah.
No, I never got deep into Jay-Z. That's probably why I don't have a huge appreciation for Jay-Z. Like, I respect him and I obviously know he's one of the GOATs, but personally for me, I don't have any like personal ties to his catalog. If that makes sense.
You listen to M though, for sure.
Eminem?
Yeah.
Like a bit. I've probably listened to more Tupac than Eminem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I did go back at one point and start listening to Tupac and Biggie, but like not like all 5 of their albums. You know what I mean? Like extensively, but like know enough and can appreciate it.
I want to go back to something you said, because you said everything kind of fell on you and that was your old job before Rap TV, right?
Yeah.
So now at Rap TV, are you dealing with any labels? Are you dealing with that, or are you just
No, Rap TV is it's a very different structure. What I initially was brought on to do was they wanted to launch a newsletter, but not a newsletter that's like, 5 articles, like 5 links pushing to their website, because they weren't focusing on web at the time. Rap TV is like a social forward media company. So the newsletter is supposed to be like an editorial product, basically, where all of the information is in the newsletter. Okay. Similar to, if anyone knows what Morning Brew or The Hustle is, those are like, I think in business and other industries, those types of newsletters have become very popular and you can monetize them.
Right.
So they saw an opportunity with that and brought me on to do that. So I launched their newsletter. They'd already had a list from previously, and then kind of like my focus was on growing that, writing it, obviously, like just kind of like building it up. Still a work in progress. And then now we're thinking a little bit more about like web editorial.
Nice.
Yeah. So different than what I used to do.
Yeah.
I'm not really doing interviews like I was. I'm not doing cover stories, but Rap TV is a different structure than my old job.
Right.
And I kind of feel like Rap TV has so much potential to grow as a media company and to just kind of like take over a bigger market share, especially with Gen Z. So I kind of saw that as a great move for myself personally, and a company and a culture that just I relate to more. I wasn't just covering hip hop in my old job.
Do you see with Rap TV interviews coming or no?
It's when they do interviews, it's a lot of, obviously for socials, it's video. So for video, we don't have like a core interview series. We're working on a few things. They have one called Fame and Flavor, which is really cool, but it's someone named Kujin, who's a TikTok. He's an influencer that hosts it, and that's like a cooking show. So yeah, we're kind of working on stuff like that. But for written interviews, I've done a few. We just don't have web. There's not like what's the word? We don't have the infrastructure to properly push long-form written content currently. So if I do interviews, I would include it in newsletter, and we can still push to the link online, but it's just not the same thing.
Got you.
Yeah.
So what's your bigger dream?
Good question.
I think the common theme in like even what I was interested in when I was younger with fashion and not thinking about music was really editorial. I think I love like reading about people's stories, writing about people's stories. Just like there's so many creative aspects to editorial with like whether it's launching a new series, thinking about something differently. For example, I feel like any music publication does like new artist roundups, but they're usually very boring. And like I myself swipe through them and I go, I don't care about this. They're not presenting it in a way that's like makes anyone exactly, because you don't know people don't know who this artist is.
You're not engaged when you're
why am I going to spend 30 seconds listening to the clip of their song? like people's attention spans on socials are so short. So if you can find a way to like present that in a really interesting and dynamic way, then that to me is like really fulfilling, because that's, you know, creativity, it's music, it's like all these, you just have so much potential with editorial. So I think for long run, it would just be like a more of like a strategy editorial position where like I can execute, you know, big ideas and small ideas because I'm managing a team and like overseeing, basically like editor-in-chief, I guess, like overseeing like an editorial team and the editorial presence for a publication.
No Gabby TV?
I don't think so. I really, honestly, I've thought about that, and I don't think I've ever been the type of person that's like necessarily wanted to like start my own company. I also think, I know other people have talked about this, entrepreneurship is very over glamorized. It's not easy. And not to say that like I'm not about hard work, I'm so about hard work, but I don't see anything wrong with like working hard. I feel like I've very strategically gone from job to job and had great experiences and like found a way to use each one for myself and also like be good at my job. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to launch my own thing to.
Would you collaborate in the future with like different people to do interviews since you've done it in the past?
I mean, I guess that would be like a freelance perspective. Yes, but I think the thing about that is that when you're doing freelance, obviously you can always improve your writing. There's no one that is ever going to be, you know, they've reached the plateau of their writing, their language skills, their English skills.
Right.
But you are doing the same thing more or less again and again and again. So there's tweaks that you can make, but overall, like the growth in the first 5 years is going to be, you know what I mean? Like a lot bigger, and then it's going to like start to like kind of go like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of always know internally when I've like been doing something for a minute and I'm kind of like, this isn't challenging me anymore. So I think more of a strategy or a lead or overseeing a team or like those higher up strategy positions, you have a lot more challenges and growth and just different things to try and new things to do.
So you want to be like the CEO at one point?
I don't know about CEO, but just continue to challenge myself to do like more and more in that same line of work.
I love that. I love that. Anybody ever tell you have a good voice like for radio?
I hate my voice. Whenever I hear my voice played back in an interview, I hate it.
Me too. I'm the same. And like everybody tells me like, yo, you have a great voice for like radio and but you do.
Thank you.
Like
you're well spoken.
Yeah, right? Like I'm listening to her and I'm like, yo, she can technically replace, well,
I really think that's
Angela Yee's gone, but like I can see her being a third person on a show like The Breakfast Club because she has that tone of voice and like you're speaking very well. Like,
do you want to be on Bigger Dreams?
Bigger Dreams?
You want to be the third host?
Yeah, for sure. I would actually be down for that. I feel like the well-spoken thing that comes from how many interviews I've done. I was doing it virtual too. Like I feel like you guys probably know this too. When you're like going into, especially a virtual interview with an artist, you kind of have to gauge within the first 30 seconds, what is their mood? Are they standoffish? Are they very open? How am I going to approach asking them these questions?
Right.
And then you have to go through your questions and you're trying to get them to open up as you go through the questions. But it's like that first 30 seconds is so important for determining how you're going to...
See, I've never done virtual, but I see what you're saying. Because like with us is like, you know, we're here, we kind of break the ice.
I have no icebreaker with them.
Yeah, you're there.
Literally just, you
go
like right into it.
You got to be careful.
I think I'm very respectful and I've never, for the most part, had an artist feel like whatever taken back, and my questions were always like respectful and related to their career as well. Like I wouldn't ask them personal questions and stuff. But that you have to seem confident. Even if you're like so anxious going into it, you can't be, the more that you sit there and you go, and you stumble, the more the artist is kind of going to be like, you know?
You know what's interesting? Like, just to add to your point, like, I just think people who are like journalistic, they are very people persons.
True.
Right? And not every artist is like that,
No.
you know? Some people come from different backgrounds, like different upbringings, and, you know, they could be in a bad mood or whatever. And I just think sometimes, like, a journalist is so excited to be a people person, but it's like, you know, you have to read that person. You can't just like, I see that I like not just in like hip hop, but just in media in general. It's like people are willing to overstep and do things, right? And it's like you're not even feeling you don't care about the people in front of you. You got to push your agenda, right? Which is Yeah, I think you have to recognize as like in journalism in general, whether it's media, music industry media, or any type of media, it's like just because you're a people person doesn't mean the person that you're speaking to is a people person or is in a people person mood, right? So
rappers are definitely some of the most difficult artists to interview because a lot of them are very standoffish. I think unless a rapper is so deep into their career, like they have media training and they've been doing it for years, then they know what they're doing. And an interview with them is going to be good regardless. You might get more out of them if you make them feel comfortable and you make them feel like you really took the time to like research them. You're coming with like well-prepped questions, but then newer artists they're hard. They give you like two-word answers. So some rappers, I've had interviews like that. Other genres are different.
You're not media trained.
It's a mix of both. I think it's like, think about it, a lot of them come from, the projects, depending on what city they're from, they come from like tough upbringings where like you're taught to be on guard. You're not friendly with someone that you meet on the street. So you're already like, that's you with everyone. It's not personal. It's not about me. It's not that you hate me. It's that that's just you, and it's not in your nature to open up. So even if you've been rapping for 2 years and you've been doing interviews, it's still like uncomfortable for them to do that. And I think that is really something that comes with like experience and like time. So I don't think it's that they have nothing to say. I think it's that they're just, a lot of rappers are like not articulate either. They write songs and they rap, but they're not like articulate conversation people. So you kind of have to like feel it out. And one question, they might give you 5 sentences to, and then you're like, okay, that's a subject clearly you can talk about. And then something else, they might go, that's how I felt in the moment,
Yeah. And you might really choose them, and they might do the Birdman on you, just walk away.
Oh, thankfully I've never had that. Thankfully I've never had that happen.
That's dope. You know what? You're like a really big rap nerd.
Yeah.
I want to say scholar.
I don't know if I'd give myself that much of a boost.
You're well rehearsed, and like, we're speaking a lot about hip hop in the music industry, and hip hop kind of hit this like big climax in 2017 where it's like you can no longer say this is street music and push it to the side. Like, no, this is pop culture music right now in 2017. And then a couple of years of joy, and 2021 comes, and there starts being this decline, right? And then you're not seeing any hip hop songs present on the top of Billboard charts and the Hot 100 charts. Do you see it as hip hop on the decline? Is it just a little, is it just like a little hill and it's gonna go back up? Like, what do you see?
I think that a lot of those are like clickbait headlines, and people who say those opinions are like, they probably saw that headline online, for example, or on socials, but they haven't taken the time to like research, like, what does this mean? Why are people saying it's on the decline? What does on the decline mean? And if you like actually like read more about it, I don't think it's that hip hop has lost popularity. A lot of like hip hop fans, first of all, are young, very young, a lot younger than country and rock and other genres that are maybe getting a bit of a boost right now. So when streaming also became popular, hip hop fans were like early adopters to streaming. And it was around the same time that hip hop was starting to like you said, 2017. So that like coupled with like both those things together are what contributed to hip hop having this like massive rise in popularity. And then, like I said before too, about if you do something just like that, anything that like, goes up that fast, like economically, is for the most part usually gonna hit like somewhat. You can't have exponential growth forever. And if you actually look at the stats, like I've written about this and I've researched it for work, hip hop's revenue did increase between 2021 and 2022, but the market share decreased. So streaming, like if labels are putting more money into, let's say, Latin and country, because they're seeing that that's going to help them reach their goal of like an overall market share, like, it's Universal, it's Warner, it's Sony. If they're trying to have the biggest market share in music and they see that Taylor Swift is so popular, Morgan Wallen is so popular, they're going to put more dollars behind their country artists and their Latin artists. They're going to invest in that because that's going to help their ultimate goal. But what does that do? That does take away funds for, let's say, vinyls for hip hop artists. Vinyls contribute a lot more towards sales, like album equivalent units, than streams do. You need 1,500 streams to get, one unit, versus one vinyl sale is one unit. Exactly. So there's like a lot of different external factors that I think are like contributing to that, and I don't think it's that hip hop is like declining or there's like a loss of popularity or cultural relevance. I think it's more of like really in like an economical and like a, you know, market type thing. And also like a lot of Latin music has trap beat production, and the cadence is like a rapping cadence. So like, is hip hop really declining in popularity, or is hip hop's influence, you know what I mean, growing in other markets? Like Peso Pluma is arguably a Latin rapper, but it's categorized as Latin music, you know, on Billboard, on Spotify, whatever. But he raps over trap beats, just in Spanish. So yeah, that's my take on it. I don't think hip hop's declining. I do think that for a lot of artists, like, you know, you see the low album sales and stuff. Let's be honest, the only artists that are going to have crazy first week sales in this streaming era are Drake, Travis Scott, Lil Uzi, Playboi Carti, like the big names.
So do first week numbers matter?
I don't think first week numbers matter. I think if you're in that ballpark, yes, they do. Like if Travis Scott suddenly had a crazy dip between Astroworld and Utopia, then that's a sign that something's changed for him. Yeah. He didn't have a crazy dip. Yeah. But I think for artists like, you know, the Meek Mills and stuff, I don't think it means that his album flopped. I think it's just that like hip hop fans are not, he doesn't have a vinyl out. They're not going to go and buy your album. They're going to stream it.
He was never that type of guy, even
exactly
at his peak. Like even his best selling album, I'm not sure. I think it was like 100 something first week. And that was his best selling album when he came out of jail. Maybe 200. Like he never cracked the 3. He never came to the Travis. Even Cole recently became that, but like it's really Travis. If you want to put Post Malone in there, Drake,
Kendrick.
Nicki, not really Kendrick.
Kendrick gets a lot of vinyl sales, and the record labels will give him the vinyl.
Album sales are strong.
Yeah, Kendrick only hit 200 his last album.
But I think Damn almost hit like.
Yeah, but Damn is a pop album. Damn was like popular. Damn had like a rollout. Damn had like crazy like, that was like, that was the label saying, here, this is your budget. Go create that album.
Merch bundles used to be more popular too, which was also a really good sales driver. Yeah. I don't think very many people are buying merch bundles, or if they're buying merch, they're not buying the album with it. They're buying the merch at the concerts.
Are a lot of artists still doing that?
Merch bundles?
Yeah.
Travis Scott did, but again, it's Travis Scott.
Yeah, but see, like, I don't think every artist, like, I remember Nicki did it. I remember, what's his name? Khaled tried to do something like that. I remember, did Tyler do something like that?
Yeah, Tyler sells a lot of merch
too. Tyler did do that too. But I don't see, like, I'm not seeing too many artists in hip hop go for that route as much anymore.
Yeah.
Even though they do count. Like, that's why Tyler and Nicki got #1 for their album.
Well, I think for sale, people buy vinyls as merch, technically, because a lot of people don't even have a record player. It's like memorabilia. It's like, you know, decor for them.
Frame it doesn't matter. You don't even...
Exactly, but vinyl supplies are like limited. It's not the same thing as CDs or buying an album on iTunes.
Yeah.
So if vinyl supplies are limited, then that means the labels get to decide, you know, which artists get first access to supplies. They're going to give them to Taylor Swift and Drake and Travis. Exactly.
Demand.
So, you know, for the smaller hip hop artists, yeah, it's like they're not going to be able to get sales that route.
I think there's going to be, like, we were talking, me and Ben, on the way here, and I was like, yo, there's rap is a genre, and now we have like subgenres.
Yeah,
for sure.
Now we're just gonna have to accept that there's subgenres of hip hop, that not every subgenre is gonna do great numbers, right? Only certain. It's not gonna be, labels are not gonna look at hip hop artists the same way they used to look at them in 2016 or 2014 or 2015. I'd say like from 2015 to like 2017. Even 2018, labels were dying for hip-hop artists, where now I feel like labels are looking at it, like you're saying.
They're looking at Latin, they're looking at country.
Who's making me more money right now, because it's a wider genre in the whole world. Like, Latin music, everybody's listening to it. People that don't understand the language are listening to it. That's what rap was at one point. It doesn't have the same effect worldwide anymore. It it definitely will still be strong in North America, but I don't think worldwide hip hop has the same influence that it had. Okay, maybe I can't say that, because you're right. Production wise, They have been. A lot of other genres have been. I feel like when it rap, it's not like, I'm not looking for a rap feature if I'm a Latin artist or if I'm like an artist from outside right away. If I'm a big artist, even like if I'm a rap artist from the UK, I'm probably looking for a Drake feature because Drake, and to me, Drake is pop. Like Drake's an artist. He's not even just a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does pop music. He does Billboard records. I'm looking for Drake, and I'm looking for Taylor Swift or like Adele or Beyonce or Weeknd. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I'm not looking for a hip hop artist to hop on. Even Travis. Like I don't think people are gonna look at Travis and be like, I need a Travis feature.
Well, Travis,
as much as they would want a Drake feature.
Travis hopped on the Water remix.
Tyler, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, well, that was smart.
That was a fit. That was
very
fit.
smart.
Yeah, and it was a good remix.
His verse was super.
I think that was super smart for both because he just dropped the album and he needed to like kind of still be around, and she's a young like she looks like nothing older than 20 for me.
Yeah, probably 20, 21.
Yeah, but like she's a young cat that still can get the Travis fan base kind of like, ooh, I like this young girl that's coming up. She's our age. She has this Rihanna / Beyonce vibe to her.
Yeah.
Like, what's next? You know what I mean? I think you're right, though. What you were talking about when it comes to, like, market shares and, like, numbers-wise, streaming of rap went down, but it doesn't mean that they're not making money off rap because of certain artists that are just so big in rap that they're still making them so much money.
I don't even think streaming and rap went down. But like think about it. If rap was dominating, let's say 2017, 2018, because so many hip hop fans were early adopters, meaning everyone eventually caught up, of like country fans, rock fans, parents, grandparents, finally started streaming music. You know what I mean? Online. Mm-hmm. So if like let's say country for example, seems like country's getting more streams, maybe it's just that country fans finally started streaming music recently.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I can definitely see that, but I also look at country and it's like, why are labels pushing country music now? It's like it's making a comeback, and you have to look at that and be like, okay, well, if it's making a comeback, that means there might be even rap fans that are listening to that, right? Because
yeah, for sure,
there's white rap fans that are gonna listen to country who probably actually started listening to country and then got some little seasoning and came into the rap side. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why Lil Durk had Morgan Wallen, right, on his album.
Yeah, and that's I'm not gonna start that right now. That's a different conversation. We'll be right back with a break, and we'll come back to Lil Durk.
All right, what's up? It's your boy Matt from Toon Squad Podcast. Yeah, I'm wearing my boy Johnny's Comfort Motors. Make sure you check him out. If you're looking to buy a car, make sure you hit up Johnny at Comfort Motors. You already know.
Yeah, I just feel like rap as a genre, it's not the most popular anymore, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. I think it's just, you said it, you can never just keep going. It's impossible to just keep going. Yeah. You have to hit a place where your line on the chart.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it could be hills, but there's times on the chart where you're just going to have a straight line for a little bit. You know, for a couple of years, it might just be a straight line, and then you might go down a little bit and then come back up. But it is, like you were saying, it's more about artists and it's more about what your brand is like. That's why Drake is so good. That's why when people hate on Drake, I don't understand.
Drake is like pizza. Drake is just like pizza. Yeah. It's for everyone.
Yes.
Everyone likes it.
And that's the point of being an artist.
Well, no, not for everyone, because I feel like...
You're right. I should take that back. That's not the point of being an artist. That's the point of being a superstar.
Yes.
If you want to be a superstar, you got to be for everybody.
Drake's very good at what he does.
Great.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm not. I mean, can he rap? Yeah, when he wants to rap, clearly. Funny enough, I was just seeing something about his streams. The 5 songs that he put for Scary Hour 3.
Oh, yeah, that was lower. Yeah.
His lowest numbers in forever. His lowest numbers. Why? Because he's strictly rapping. So he's looking at y'all and saying, why the fuck am I going to rap?
Yeah, but
my
you know
rap
what?
numbers don't even match my lowest pop songs or just records.
Yeah, I feel like it's different, though. If he actually dropped, like, a full EP that was like that, like, more rapping, I don't think he would get the lowest streams of all time. I think it was because those songs were, like, tacked on, too.
I see what you're saying, and I agree with you. It's a strategic move. You're right. But even if he was to go and drop like a straight full a rap album or an EP right now, we're not gonna appreciate it.
You're right, because Drake, if
we're
like,
not gonna appreciate it. We're gonna be like, who are you trying to be, bro?
because if Drake's fans are like a pie chart, he's losing the people who mainly listen to pop or mainly listen to R&B when he's just rapping, and he's only getting the rap fans.
Yes.
Which is a huge number,
it's
a huge percentage of his fan base.
Who, pop and R&B?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. That's true.
Specifically pop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. Like the people that like would have no idea who ESTG or 42 Doug is, listen to Drake. And they're like, oh my God, that's rap, that's hip hop, that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's Drake.
To them,
that is
to them, Travis, Drake, and maybe like I don't even want to put Kanye in there. Maybe like Nicki Minaj or like Cardi, like
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne maybe, but Lil Wayne been rapping recently. I'm not gonna lie. He actually came back to the Wayne that raps. Like if you heard his last couple of features, the run of features that
He just
on,
dropped the album with 2 Chainz too.
I gotta listen to that. Yeah, you're right. I gotta listen to that album. Like he's been on some rap shit, but yeah, like hip hop is really Drake to a lot of people. I like how you said Drake's like pizza. That's not a bad thing, by the way.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that. Exactly. Literally, like if you say like if you're trying to find something for everyone that like appeases that everyone likes, that everyone's happy. Literally,
easy.
pizza.
I know lactose intolerance motherfuckers that still want to eat pizza, bro. Fuck we talking about? They just eat it with the lactose-free cheese. It's still the same shit. It's pizza.
I think that's what it is. Whereas there's so many rap artists that are like we said, like a subgenre. So your fans are they have to like that subgenre of rap to like your music. It's not as accessible as, the pop adjacent, R&B adjacent.
You know, music. I think it's tough for a rap artist to do. Like, it's funny because me and Ben were having a conversation too, and it was about Cole. And it's like he was talking. I mean, I was telling him, yo, I used to listen to Cole when I was in it. Like, when I came up in high school, when I was in grade 11, 12, that's when Cole was coming up.
Oh my God, I think Workout was like one of those songs like in high school where like
Workout
everyone
was
listened.
Past high school for me. I'm older. My pension's kicking in soon. But like it was like the warm up when I was in high school, and then he came out with Friday Night Lights when I left my last year in high school, and then I'm looking at it and it's like he's a generation kind of after me. And when he's in high school, he was listening to, what's that album? Forest Hills Drive. I can't believe I forgot the name. Forest Hills Drive and KOD, right? And now I was talking to my step-cousin when I was in LA, and I'm talking to his boys who are 14-year-old right now, and they're listening to Cole. And I'm sitting here, and he's like, bro, look at this shit. That's like 3 different generations.
Because Cole's always been around. Like, think about it.
People listening to Cole when they were in high school. And Cole is still that hip-hop rap artist where it's like, yo, I can still make records, but I'll give you the conscious stuff the storytelling conscious stuff that what rap came from. And people still respect that. I don't think a lot of artists can do that anymore. That's why rap is not... It's not sticking there.
Well, that's
like it's coming and going. There's so many of them that it's like it's coming and going.
That's the divide, right? Between like rap fans that are fans of like JID would be a newer generation. JID, J. Cole, Kendrick. Like those fans are so diehard about like this is what rap, this is what hip hop is, this is what good lyricism is, this is what good storytelling is. And then you have the other side, kids who listen to Yeet and who listen to Lucky and like these trap. It's ad-libs and whatever, and they're like, well, I fuck with this, and like, you know what I mean? That's the...
And I love both sides. I just feel like, even with that side, I haven't seen many artists. I'm trying to think right now. Maybe, that's why I put A Boogie with the Hoodie part of the new crew, too, because I feel like he fits within those guys as well.
A bit, but he's not like, I wouldn't...
Like, I'm trying to look at other artists, trap artists, maybe Future, but then... Can we put Future with the Little Yeats and all that?
No, I would say Yeet is more of like the people who listen to Trippie Redd, Juice WRLD, DC the Don.
It's like a new
Dro
gen.
Kenji. Yeah, it's like that. That is very new gen. It's a specific
XX.
sound. Yeah, X as well.
So
definitely.
very like that punk.
SoundCloud. cloud rap, rage rap,
punk rap,
yeah,
type of era.
But they're
I mean,
all
look
like.
at Yeet. You just told me he dropped 7 albums within the last 2 years. It's like that's a lot of albums. But how many people are really listening to Yeet like that? I can't name you 2 songs.
I'm not kidding.
Yeet.
I went to his concert here this year. I have never, like, we don't talk about hip hop fans. They were feral. Like, they were losing their mind. They were moshing.
I believe it.
I've never seen a hip hop crowd like that before. His fans were fucking going crazy. And then you go to Kendrick.
Young kids all?
Yeah. Yeah, very young.
You know, it's funny. It reminds me of NBA Youngboy.
Yeah,
like, in the
same.
sense where it's there's certain things I don't understand. But just because I don't understand doesn't mean it
doesn't mean it's not good. 100%.
Or not just good. It's just a big influence.
Yeah. I mean, it's good in someone else's perception, right?
Yeah.
I see, like, that's the one thing that I made sure I don't want to become is that old head, or I'm not old head. I'm only
just closed-minded.
Yeah. It's just that closed-minded of saying, like, oh, well,
me too.
I respect so much of the old hip-hop that I can't listen to the new hip-hop.
I honestly fuck with Yeet and NBA Youngboy, and I feel like because of what I do for work, and I have to listen to different types of rap all the time.
I love NBA.
Like NBA's good. He's great at what he does. Yeah. He can rap the fuck out of like.
I also love Kodak.
Yeah, Kodak is so good too.
In the last 2 years,
Kodak is really good.
Has grown in my heart. No, like I don't think.
Me too. That Guns in. I told you. Kodak had a better album than Dirk. I stand on that.
Yeah,
fucking shit.
and I told you that too.
Which one?
Hard.
I don't think Dirk ever had a better album.
That shit was hard.
Pistols and Pearls was good. Kodak's always been good.
Had shittier album than anybody else that he goes.
Bro, fuck out of here.
But I'm not getting into that.
Also, Super Gremlin was huge this year.
Yes.
That was a big song.
Yes. Yeah, Kodak. Like to me, Kodak is like, what are you on? Rod Wave too right now. Like holy fuck, that guy is taking the industry by a storm right now.
Oh, I don't love Rod Wave. Really? No disrespect to him. It's just not my music.
That's cool. You know what? I see a divide. I see like, he has a niche crowd, and like, it's for certain people.
I can't do very slow music. Like for someone like Tusi, I can listen to Tusi because Tusi kind of is that bridge between like, he'll do the slow like love songs, whatever, but then he can also rap. He can also have 21 as a feature. I feel like Rod Wave is sometimes a little bit too like it's like I'm zoning out a little bit.
When I'm in my feelings, man, Rod Wave.
I don't like listening to In My Feelings music. My In My Feelings music is Future. That's my In My Feelings music.
Listen, you don't know who you're talking to.
That's crazy.
You don't know
I'm kidding. Maybe A Boogie can be that. I would classify.
Future to A Boogie talking about feelings.
She just broke up in a long-term relationship.
Yeah, man.
She's bumping March Madness.
Yeah.
She's bumping 7:12.
Yeah.
7:12 p.m. She's outside, bro.
Tears in her eyes, dude.
I'm telling you, up the river, bro.
No, but that's why, because I don't want to like.
Dirty soda in the styrofoam. Tears in her eyes.
I'm a monster on these hoes. I'm a monster. She just broke up with the man, bro. She went straight there.
I don't like In My Feels music.
You don't listen to R&B like that? Like you don't have like an R&B.
Like give me like I do, but I can't think of like.
I feel you. You're not softy. I get you.
I just don't like listening to music. I don't like listening to soft music like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's outside, fam.
No, not like that.
Really?
I rate you.
Okay, you know what? You know who I do listen to?
She trains Mandem how to act.
You know who I do listen to? Ryan Trey. That's an R&B artist that I actually really like.
Ryan Trey.
Ryan Trey.
I don't think I've heard of him.
And Jordan Ward. Those are two really
Jordan
good.
Ward is crazy.
Two really good R&B artists. But okay, like
Ryan
maybe
Trey.
I'll listen to that. Maybe I'll listen to Ryan Trey. But he's kind of like Bryson Tiller, but not.
Oh, but it's not R&B. We just talked about
okay,
this.
well, well, there you go. It's my version of R&B.
That's fair. So you never are you Beyonce girl or?
Yeah, she just thought she was the Future when she's mad.
Wait, hold on. Didn't you go to Beyonce?
No, Mika went to Beyonce. I didn't go to Beyonce.
Oh, I thought you went with her.
No,
Was
Emma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't go to Beyonce.
Oh,
It's not that I don't dislike. It's not that I dislike Beyonce.
I got you. You're just not a beehive, or like you're not.
Yeah, it's just not the music I bump at home. Like that's it.
You listen actually. You listen to Cardi and like Nicki and.
Yeah, I listen to Cardi and Nicki for sure.
What about Meg? Meg, the stallion.
She has some songs I don't love.
Yeah, did you listen to her new song?
No, I didn't actually.
Yo, her budget for her new video, Cobra, was insane. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's like, "Bro, like, it's over $2 million."
Damn.
And I was like, "God damn."
I'm not gonna lie, there hasn't been. I really don't listen to that much female rap, and again, not because like.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know.
Not even
It
Sexy
doesn't
Red?
hit the same. I like Ski, but I don't listen to like Ski. I like Ski, but I really feel like Nicki Minaj is probably like the one female rapper that for me I would say like Nicki's just sick. Like she was sick 8 years ago. Not a Barb's, but not a Barb's, but
bro, she's telling you she's listening to Future when she broke up with her man.
How about
I just said that's my.
How about Spice Cabinets?
Ice Spice?
Yeah.
I like Ice Spice. I fuck with Ice Spice.
Is she gonna be a superstar?
I think Ice Spice is already a superstar.
Is that her name?
She's already a superstar.
We'll see how much longevity she has.
No, she just said that.
I said I feel like she's already like at that point.
She's already a superstar?
I asked her, is she going to be a superstar? And she said she already is one.
I think she is. And in terms of like 2023, I think she's at the point now where it's like even if she keeps,
but not a superstar.
Okay, maybe not a superstar, maybe not like a Cardi B level.
Like, yeah, superstar. Like you're getting $1 million to perform.
I would say she is. Out of like the rising female rappers, she is for sure the most popular.
You think she has consistency, or she's gonna have consistency? I should say.
I don't know. I kind of wanna.
I can see it.
I wanna see. But I was literally that show we're at. I feel like she definitely does have influence. That the what's called 41. Those kids. That was like such an Ice Spice flow. That one song that they were doing.
Me and you were talking about that.
It was an Ice Spice flow over a New York drill beat.
Yeah.
I feel like she'll definitely have influence for sure. At least with like
artists
coming out of New York.
Can't you say that Pop Smoke kind of had that?
Yeah, but I don't think Ice Spice sounds like Pop Smoke. Although she said she was influenced by him for sure. I think Pop Smoke
she just sounds like a female version.
I think Pop Smoke made New York drill.
I've never thought about it like that. That's
bro, listen to the way she raps.
I can see it.
Really?
The way she raps, it's Pop Smoke. She's just not as hard as Pop Smoke.
I was a big Pop Smoke fan.
Me too.
R.I.P.
I love
Pop Smoke. But when he was alive, I was a big Pop Smoke
When
fan.
I heard Pop Smoke the first time, I said, "Oh, we got the new 50 on our hand."
Literally.
Oh, the new 50 is about to kill shit.
He
Like New
crazy.
York is coming back.
Yeah, he literally.
And then,
rest in peace.
He would have been the face of New York.
I think he would have been the face of the new generation.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly.
He would have been the biggest artist of the new generation.
Yeah, he was on a crazy trajectory.
He had the balance of like the streets, but still make records.
What I think a lot of New York
records.
What like a lot of New York drill artists lack is like versatility. I think so many of them sound the same, and that's what's like they don't blow up past that. You know what I mean? New York drill sound.
But I feel like that's what drill is. Like there's nothing.
But he had versatility. He didn't just do drill, and that's why he would have been so big because he could have done more than just that drill sound.
For sure, but I'm saying if you identify
with
as
a New York drill fan,
a drill artist, you're a drill artist. Let's say you can't like it's a niche.
Yeah, but then you're always going to be pigeonholed.
Yeah, and that's.
I think for Ice Spice, it's like, can you do more than just this one sound?
I would like to see what she does. Is it Pink Panther? Is that the other? Or am I saying
Pink Pantheress.
Pink Pantheress.
Pink Pantheress.
It's same, close. She's dope too.
She is dope. She's very dope. Not my music again, but she's dope, and she's had a crazy like trajectory too.
She's had a crazy
from when she first
run.
came out.
She's had a crazy run.
She has had a crazy
She just
run.
did why am I forgetting his name? Norward episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which was like
you can tell she's getting more comfortable with press now.
Yes, and I can tell that. If for you, can you tell when like I mean, for me, I guess because I'm in the industry and I've studied it, I can tell when an artist is like media trained, or at least has a little bit of media trained. Can you tell?
You mean from when I interview them, or when I watch their interviews?
No, when you watch interviews or.
Yeah, I don't feel like honestly I don't watch that many interviews. I watch interviews when I'm researching an artist. But yeah, you can tell. I think it's part media training, and it's part like some artists are just like you said, people. Like Jack Harlow.
People person?
Yeah, people person. Jack Harlow doesn't need media training. Jack Harlow obviously has media training, but Jack Harlow doesn't need media. Yeah.
I watched his episode
What's
of Call
your
Her Daddy.
perspective on that boy?
Jack Harlow?
Yeah. Because that's another guy that we should be talking about with first week numbers and like.
Okay, but
my thing with Drake.
So Jack Harlow, I remember when Jack Harlow was on his crazy, like, you know, everywhere. He was doing all the interviews. He had all the interviews that went viral were like the Love You with Emma Chamberlain at the Met Gala.
Yeah.
And then it was all leading up to that album that he dropped.
Yeah.
Right? And then he dropped the album. The album wasn't great. Didn't have the best reception.
Was that with the Topanga album?
Or the one with Churchill Downs?
Yes. The one with Churchill Downs.
That's the Topanga album, right? Hold on, honey.
That was before the all rap one. Yeah.
Hold on, honey, I'm coming home or something.
Yeah. Yes. Come Home, the Kids Miss You.
Come home, the miss.
Come home, the kids
I don't
miss
know
you.
how the fuck I butchered
Come
that
home,
name.
the kids miss you.
Hold on, Henny, I'm coming home. That's a sick album name,
so
too.
I feel like he was...
It's actually hard.
He was literally doing the most, like Churchill Downs Drake. He had so many moments where it's like he was in the news cycle again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
If he dropped a crazy album, if he dropped like a body of work, I think that I would be a really big Jack Harlow fan, but because I didn't love that album...
Did you like the all rap album? Or was that like, what do you do?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay, so what if he, because what is that, like
so
his
let me
third
give
album?
you a comparison.
Okay.
I think Central C Central C is so smart with marketing, and I think Central C had the same trajectory in terms of like Doja broke him into the North American market, but he already had years under his belt in UK. He was already popular in the UK. He already had respect in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously breaking into North America is a very hard thing to do for a
Mm-hmm.
UK artist.
Mm-hmm.
So Doja gave him that moment where people in the US started to notice him. He has done such a good job of capitalizing on that and like slowly, incrementally. First he went on that tour. He did literally a world tour, went to Australia. Like he's just going about it very smart in a way that like I think when he finally does drop something or make that move to really like whatever, drop something after the marketing and the press.
Jack has been smart with his thing?
I think the difference is that Central C is a really great rapper, and I think that Central C can back up his. Sorry, no offense to, no disrespect, no disrespect to Jack.
Okay.
I think that Central C has better bars and has.
I low-key agree.
Better production. It just like it's. I've listened to a lot of Central C. I think Central C is a better rapper, and I think that when he does drop music, it's gonna hit, and he's gonna be very strategic about it.
I just look at Jack and I'm like, the way Jack is moving is super strategic. As well, it's just that
you can tell he's gonna drop an album soon. That's why
yeah,
he's
of
doing
course.
press.
But like we're not seeing it because we're so much focused on Drake and other like UK rap. That's
okay, have
coming.
you ever had someone say to you? Obviously, Jack Harlow has hits. "Loving on Me" is everywhere. That's a good song. It's a very catchy song.
Crazy
Have
song.
you ever had someone come up to you and say, "Yo, this one Jack Harlow song, like you haven't heard of it. It's not like on Bill." You know what I mean? I feel like I've never heard anyone say, "Yeah, I'm just bumping Jack Harlow back to back to back to back."
No, but what I'm saying is that he's making records for the Billboard, and to me, I'm looking at it like, yo, he gave us.
Do you think his records are on par with early Drake?
I think that's what he's doing right now.
You think his records are on
I
par
don't
with
think
early
they
Drake?
are. I can't say that because Drake is just Drake, and like to a person from Toronto, like this guy put us on the map. So like we adore him here. But I'm also like a Drake fan, right? I'm not saying I'm not a Harlow fan, or I am a big Jack Harlow fan. But what I'm looking at Jack is that Jack is on that path of he gave us an album.
Greatness.
Yeah, he gave us an album, that album that you were talking about. Got his first major album, he had a #1 record on. Got another #1 record on his second album. On top of that, just dropped a strictly rap that
I love that.
genuinely
I love
a
that
lot of older rap guys gave him credit for it and were like, okay, we see you know how to rap.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to hear this anymore. Go back to the other shit. Because you're better at the other shit. I just don't want to see a white boy rap like that. Even though I'll give you the credit, you're a good rapper. Now, his first single off this new album charted like boom. Like, Love on Me is insane.
Because it went all over TikTok.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's making music. The structure of his music is becoming more Billboard.
Yeah.
So he's going to,
Sure.
his trajectory is going to be more of success than for me to be a rapper. Now, Central C, I think Central C breaking into the North American market, I agree with you. He actually has the potential to be a hit maker. But he's just got to keep making those hits. Like, he went in the studio with Dave, and I think made 4 hits.
Oh, that EP
That
was
shit's
so
Like,
good.
Every
oh
song
my
on
God.
that, even the song that they were rapping, like, it was more personal. I think it was
My birthday or something?
Yeah, 25th birthday or something.
Yeah.
Like,
That was
even
my favorite
was
song.
still, like,
So
Even though
good.
it was low key, yeah.
like, you still had bars on that. It's still catchy. It still had a vibe, right?
But
I
see,
think
that's what I'm
Central-
saying. Like, I could go through Central's discography right now and point out so many good songs from each album that are like, again, not the same style of rap again and again and again. Like, he has versatility. I think he chooses really good beats, and he's really smart with his marketing. And he's great as a feature artist too.
He's really great as a feature artist.
Yeah.
Which is Jack still needs to figure that out.
I just.
That's the one thing that I haven't seen.
I'm really not hating on Jack. I would be so open to like revisiting his albums and like giving it a chance. I want
to see what his new album is going to be like. I'm judging him off his new album.
I just know I've listened to his music and I've been like, that's kind of a weak bar.
I think there's a certain authenticity to Central C.
Yeah.
That
in terms of like as a
fans
rapper,
love.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you know, for example, like just going to some of these like award shows and wearing like a
tech fleece
tech fleece type of outfit, you know what I mean? It's kind of just like, yo, I don't give a fuck how like all these funny outfits you guys are wearing. I'm gonna wear what I feel is comfortable, what I feel looks good, right? And it was he didn't say it in those words, but it was kind of like a statement like that. And I just feel like he does a lot of things that are true to self, and it works for him, you know?
Well, he's definitely. I mean, I'm sure he had a very different upbringing than Jack Harlow did, so the stuff that he can talk about in his raps is very different than what Jack Harlow is talking about in his raps. But I think even just, bar structure, I think he has better rhymes, to be honest. I'm more of a Central C fan than a Jack Harlow fan.
That's fair. I can see that. I can see people saying that. Listen, I'm not saying Jack is better. I just feel like Jack is going to be that guy that we're going to look at.
I promise you, it's gonna be majority females at his shows. It is majority females at his shows.
He's the third rapper to have 3 number ones. Like that doesn't happen. It hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about true. Like Kanye didn't do it. Jay didn't do it.
Yeah, but it's because
especially in this era, so impressive.
It's because, like you said, it's like not only is it very digestible for someone that listens to pop music and comes across it on their TikTok page.
Yeah.
But it's also...
but that's the formula now. That's what I'm saying. He figured out the formula because he still has, like, a lot of projects before he really blew up. At the time, he was just putting them out because the label, he even said it. The label thought, like, yo, this guy can't hang with Uzi. Like, we got to put more money into Uzi. COVID. I'm joking, guys. She's not saying.
Shout out Shot by Ben one time. He gave our guest COVID.
That's crazy. He's still 2 steps ahead
wow.
of us. Well, not really. But no, I'm just looking at it. It's like, like what he's doing to do 3 number ones with like 3 major albums that really came out, or maybe 4 major albums that came out. That's like you're on that road. You're on that road to like, not saying that you're a better artist or a better rapper. I'm saying that he's on the road just to be success. He's on the road to be the Billboard guy. He's on the road to be what kind of Drake is. And Central C might actually meet him there. Not might. He probably will if he continues with that. Because to me, he's the biggest out of England right now, next to like Dave. I love Stormzy, but I think he's the biggest out of England right now.
I like Stormzy too.
I love Stormzy. I think Stormzy's.
I think the music that I like the most is probably just not what is number 1 on the Billboard, and like that's why, like you said, I listen to so many different types of rap that like to me Jack Harlow, regardless of how impressive his stats are, it's just not something that would make me excited to like write about it, or I would have a hard time finding some like meaning or value to. Yeah, I guess like write something on it. Whereas there's other artists that I would be more excited.
Whereas in Dirty Sprite 2 comes on.
listen.
You're all in that.
Dirty Sprite 2 comes on. She's outside, bro.
Future's a great
Styrofoam
rapper.
cups come out.
Outside. She got the lean ready.
Don't even compare Jack Harlow to Future. It's disrespectful.
You know what's crazy to me? Is that Future needs to be talked about a lot more.
He does. Future, you know what? Future's consistency is crazy, but not repetitive. Just consistency in terms of puts out good music.
Like one of our first times that we did an episode, this was like when we were shooting off this MacBook. I don't even know if it was this MacBook at the time.
Yeah, it was photo booth.
It was this MacBook?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said that he thinks Future can take on Drake, Cole, and like some of the big names in a versus battle. And at the time, I said, are you fucking on crack? Like, no way. No chance. And he knows I love Future.
Future's so
like,
good.
I have a playlist called Nevadius Demont. Hold on. I'm going to tell you the full name of it.
All right, is that his Govy?
Yeah. Demont Cash. Like that's my guy, bro. When I figured out that's his name, I'm like, yo, I'm making your playlist your full fucking Gabby name. Like, that's how I love Future. I think he's consistent. I think he has to be in that conversation. I don't think he can beat Drake in a verses, though. That's the one thing that I'll stand on. I don't think he can beat Drake in a verses.
But there's growth every album.
Yeah.
I think if you were to put him against any other artist other than Drake, and if the verses was in the South, in Atlanta, most artists are losing against him.
Yeah.
Just because of, like, his influence to that culture. Like, his influence to that culture is probably as big as Wayne.
Also, think about it. When you say people don't talk about him as much, it's because he's not in the news cycle. Like, a lot of, I feel like, what it is at the forefront of people's minds is what you're seeing on TikTok, what you're seeing on Instagram, the headlines that you're seeing. Like, a lot of Gen Z gets their news from social media. They're not, you know what I mean, going to necessarily online to publications. When was the last time you saw a headline about Future? You literally, I see headlines about Future because he's in the studio with Metro Booming. No. But not because Future is, like, out here.
But I also feel like his last album, he decided not to promote it.
Yeah, I don't think he really cares.
And I think that was one of his best.
I don't think he has anything to prove, to be honest, at this point.
Fair, because the last two albums were already so good, and he's already got... You said he won a Grammy off that album, right?
I'm pretty sure Wait For You won a Grammy.
It did win.
Yeah, see? It did.
Right.
I remember I interviewed... You're making fun of me for Future right now. I interviewed 24K Golden. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I do.
He popped off during COVID.
Yeah.
I interviewed him, and I was like, oh, I really loved your album, because he was about to drop one. He was like, what was your favorite song? And he had this one with Future, and I was like, oh, it was like the song with Future. I was like, I really like that song. I was like, I loved it, and I also like just love Future in general. And he was like, oh, you're toxic, eh? And I was like, okay.
That is awesome. That's hilarious. Okay, guys, we'll be right back with another intermission.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart, bro. Listen, for all you guys that think she's not approachable, first of all, if you're not over 6 feet, don't approach her.
That's such bullshit. That's not true at all.
Nah, yo, take that back. Yo, if you're 5'8", you could still go up to her.
If you're under 6 feet and you approach me, just like come with the right energy.
You know, like don't talk.
Don't
like
be acting like you're 6'2".
Act like you're 5'7", 5'6", 5'7" with the shoes on. But no, I told you this on Sunday. I feel like, yeah, your energy's super dope. Like, you're a cool person.
I think you just can't tell that if you're just looking at me and you don't have a conversation with me.
I feel like once people start having conversations,
I was so shocked when I started talking to you.
Yeah, it's not what you would expect.
Once I started talking to you and like seeing you around the girls, I mean, like, I love all of you guys. Like, you're my family. It's funny because a lot of my boys used to be like, yo, why do you come to Libertine? And then I brought a couple of them, and they're like, oh, I understand why you come here. It's because they treat you like you're the brother. Like, like I'm just a homie, you know what I mean? But I get a lot of love from you guys, and I just feel at home. And of course, I give you guys a love back. But at first, when I met you, I was like, yo, she's actually dope. You guys just have to have that conversation with her. And then I started seeing that you actually do have like a caring, loving side that you might not show to the world right away. You know what I mean? It might be like, oh, you know, people listening to you like, oh, this girl's listening to Future. Like, no, like there's a caring side. No,
if my girl's puking, I will 1000% take care of her.
Like,
I'll carry her home.
And like you care for your girls and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, so there is a different side, but it's not for everyone to see.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's cool, you know.
I think it takes people by surprise when they realize like how much rap music I listen to, or even like what I do for work. Because I feel like a lot of people that know me socially probably know me from like working here and like see me in the context of like behind the bar.
Yeah.
And like, you know, outside drinking, whatever. And like you probably don't think that I have a full-time job or that I write or pay that much attention to music.
Because most bartenders don't have 2 jobs.
Well, no disrespect, but if I ask someone, what do you think I listen to? They're not going to say, you know, 42 Doug.
No way. I would. That's not the first thing that would
exactly.
Yeah, you listen to 42 Doug?
I love 42 Doug.
It wouldn't even be Future.
42 Doug and ESTG are like two of my favorite like trap artists.
ESTG is actually hard.
He is hard.
Like I got into him not too long ago, and I was like, whoa.
Tough.
But also there's that one I feel like didn't get attention, but 42 Doug has this one song with Roddy Ricch called Rock and Roll. Crazy song.
You like Roddy Ricch?
I love.
Did he fall off?
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah.
We know it.
I know, but I just
the whole world knows
I have
it.
so much love for his debut studio
album.
album.
We all
Me
do,
too.
but
So
that
much
was
love for
Racks
his
in the
debut studio
Middle?
album. Yeah. Oh my God,
That
Racks
was
in the Middle was crazy.
A&R. That was an A&R album. That album was put together by label heads, not the heads.
Really,
but
that's what you think?
100%. That had
I
a
feel
lot of like A&Rs around it.
I mean, for sure, because that was when he was like coming up.
Yeah.
I just think of some artists.
This is not me hating. This is a fact.
Okay, fair.
Like that album was A&R, just like.
So then why wasn't his second album good?
Because he wanted to change.
I see.
Just like Bryson.
Okay.
Bryson's first album was all A&R. They had writers. They had, everything. The whole 9 yard of the industry. Same with them. But when it came to their second album, they said, oh, well, I want to do something different. And I'm sure they had a big argument with their exec or whoever the fuck was working with them on their team. It's like, bro, you try something different now, it's not going to be the same. And that's what happened. Wasn't the best. Whoa.
His first album was so good.
His first album was crazy, just like Bryson. Bryson will be remembered for his first album.
Literally.
Same with Roddy.
Like War Baby, that one song where he had the gospel,
War
the
Baby was
gospel
crazy.
choir. I remember the first time I listened to that, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Oh
War
my
Baby was
God.
I was like, "What did
That's my
this
favorite
guy just
song
do?"
on
That was the craziest song. That whole album, I would listen to the album back to back.
Do you remember
to
when I
back.
showed you that? And I was just like...
Fucking
That
crazy.
album was crazy.
Yeah.
Because that was like his strength. It's like he's so good at melodies. Roddy Ricch is such a melodic rapper. So he can do that. And a lot of rappers can't have a gospel choir and have it not be like corny. It didn't seem corny.
You never
It
know,
was
though.
like
He might come back with something.
I hope he does.
He might come back. He might just
I'm
tap in with the
hoping.
right people.
I'm
I hope he
hoping.
does. I think Roddy Ricch is so talented at
He just
that
needs to
style.
tap in with the right people.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people don't realize. You got to have the right people around you when you're making music. When you're making like music like that, that's timeless.
Roddy Ricch and Gunna were like my two, like when they were both like kind of didn't break into the mainstream yet. Those were like my two artists that I listened to again and again. And it was like, these are gonna be like the next like big melodic rappers. And I feel like Gunna has really backed up.
You know what's crazy? I
talent.
always used to say Gunna's a better rapper than Lil Baby, and like people like wanted my head for it.
Gunna's-
I still believe it.
I have
That's
been
always a hot debate.
riding
I
for
still
Gunna
believe
for
it to this
years.
day. Just like when I said Takeoff is a better rapper than all
Takeoff
these.
is crazy.
Takeoff is the
Takeoff
best rapper.
literally hit the best
R.I.P.
bars.
to him too.
R.I.P. to Takeoff.
He
for
is
sure.
the best rapper in the whole group. He just didn't have the branding because he had.
Quavo was the personality. Quavo was the personality.
Quavo
for sure.
was the personality.
Quavo was a big
and-
personality.
Yeah,
and
charisma.
Thing was a sauce.
Yeah,
Takeoff
Offset.
Offset was just a sauce.
Yeah.
He's just saucy.
That's why they were
Had
such a
Cardi
good.
B
That's
on
why
his
they were
side.
such a good trio.
They were amazing because they had everything. They had
Yeah.
all three things that you need in one artist in three different.
Yeah.
That's why they're making good records. Nowadays, like he's not really. Well, I'm not seeing the other two really make records like that again.
Oh, I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens with not only Thug's trial, unfortunately, but what happens with YSL and like obviously Gunna's career too.
Free fucking Jeffrey, bro. Free
Jeffrey.
What did it-
Free
what
Young
did the
Thug.
lyrics say?
Sorry.
What is stuck for?
Oh, truly humbled under God.
Truly humble. Free, truly humbled under God.
He's just trying to push positivity.
Yeah, of course.
He's just trying to push
It's a
positivity.
very creative way.
And also, that was a P. That was a P that he was making in his. It wasn't a blood sign. It was a
Pushing
P.
P, yeah, pushing P. And he was like this. You're right. That was supposed to be for positivity.
Yeah.
These lawyers are very creative by what they're
Well,
doing.
you know he's got a nice retainer, so he better be creative.
Yeah, for sure. I think Thug is gonna come out. I think Thug is gonna come out with
I think
a
they're gonna
bang.
have to go for a mistrial the same thing as YNW Melly. I think it's really hard to get like a complete like not guilty verdict, but if you go for a mistrial, then you have a better chance than guilty.
I don't know their laws too much, I'll be honest, but I just feel like he's that artist that the industry's not gonna give up on too easy.
Yeah, don't. Oh my god, I don't even want to think about a world without Young Thug's music. I literally, I can't.
Especially Entertainment 300. Like Entertainment 300 is not giving up.
Well,
on
the
that boy.
the CEO was at the first day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he's partners with him for a reason. Well, he claims he's partners with him because Thug is actually one of the most creative artists that I've seen from this generation.
He's so influential.
So influenced by Wayne and
so
and
influenced
Future,
by Wayne.
But I believe that this is my perspective. I believe that he's more creative than Wayne and Future.
Yeah, I think
creativity wise.
Yeah, Thug.
When it comes to like making different sounds, he's just so creative that they can't match him. That's just my perspective. Not saying he's better, because I think I like.
You can even
Future's
see
music more.
You can even see Thug's influence in someone like the way he distorts his voice and he plays with his voice. Like Thug was doing a lot of that before any rappers were. Thug is crazy. We wouldn't have Gunna without Thug.
So what do you think of this comeback that Gunna made?
I think Gunna.
Is it a comeback?
Because he was trying to get canceled. Like
no, the sentiment
that was pretty bad.
The sentiment around Gunna was very negative.
I don't think it was a comeback. I think it was just like, yo, in the rap game, you don't snitch, and the word was just that he's a rat.
Yeah, but that is
that
is a death sentence for a rapper.
Yes, but it was never proven yet.
No, it wasn't. But just the sentiment enough.
And then having Thug's dad come out and say no, he didn't.
Yeah, but I also think like when you're in that position, like you said, it wasn't proven for sure. It wasn't like fact, but it was like a bandwagon of like rapper after rapper after rapper kept going on interviews and shitting on him.
The big rappers unfollowed him too.
Exactly, like it was.
The boy unfollowed him.
It was a bandwagon.
It was just like,
I think it was a lot more than just like, let's say, academics going off about him.
But is
for
it
sure.
a comeback though? Because did he come back?
Yeah, I think
because
he
had the biggest record of the year.
I think that after that sentiment, I think he had one shot.
I don't believe that was the biggest record of the year.
For rap, like it was the biggest banger in the summer in the clubs.
I think Fuck You Mean was definitely like a song of the summer.
That or Burna Boy's Taliban's remix.
But I think whether it was like considered the biggest rap album or not, I just think that he had one shot after all that dialogue. He had one shot to prove himself.
He came correct.
And he came correct.
He
and not only did he come correct, he hasn't done a single interview. He hasn't spoken on anything. He hasn't made a statement. He literally said, "You want to shit on me? Bet. I'm going to drop this album and you're going to see."
Music talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Strong.
100%.
Literally.
Well, they're saying that's his clone, but and he went to do Afrobeats. I don't know if you guys saw him.
Yes. Oh my god, that was a fucking crazy.
That shit
so
was hard.
I feel like the way him and his team went about that was very smart because
very strategic.
Very strategic.
Yeah.
They know, first of all, he's not doing press. He's not doing rollout. There's no way that you're going to be able to build this up. You have to just drop it.
Yeah.
So he did that one song and then he dropped the album. The reception to the album was like so many people on Twitter were like, "Yo, I can't even be mad. Like this is such good music. I'm not canceling Gunna."
Yeah.
And then Fuck You Mean just kept picking up steam on TikTok, and then he did those 2 live shows, not a tour, just 2 live shows in LA and New York.
Yes.
And you can tell he rehearsed the fuck for those his performance was so good.
Yeah.
No vocal track whatsoever. No vocal
Yeah.
track whatsoever. Did the Afrobeats thing. Had a crazy stage design. He just did everything to be like. Yeah, he did everything to be like.
He put on a show.
You want to shit on me? Like, I'm gonna let my talent speak for itself.
It's funny because I think I've said it to you for sure, but I think if he never got caught up in that. Mm-hmm. And had stayed because he was on a
he was on a crazy trajectory.
Guy, right?
Literally, he was pushing P.
Yeah, and especially
I was big on him before all that.
That was huge.
Pushing P.
Pushing P was.
I used to say that too with you. I remember with Tony and stuff. I would always say Gunna.
Bro.
Gunna and Thug were having a moment before they got arrested.
Yeah.
They were really. That was.
And I want that to come back.
Yeah.
I don't think he snitched. I mean, again, I'm not really tapped into that world or. I don't know the laws there or what's going on.
I think if he did, it would come out during trial, and the trial's happening right now.
And that's the thing. I think we're gonna find out soon if he really did snitch or not. But it from Jeffrey's side, it seemed like he's cool with him. Like it didn't seem like did he even diss him on his album? No, he can't diss him because the album was already in the vault.
Yes.
Yeah, the album was in the vault. They probably just added a couple of Drake verses on there. I look at Gunna and I say, Gunna, if he was never involved in that, Gunna could have been that next superstar in hip hop. I don't know if he will be that.
We'll
Even
see.
with having that one record of the year, the consistency has to stay there. Now it's just a matter of knowing, is he a rat or no?
I really think Gunna's been consistent, though. If you want to go back through, like, all of, even the one he
Yeah,
dropped
yeah, yeah.
before. You know what I mean? All of them have been good.
I am not disagreeing with you. I think he's super consistent, but now it's the consistency of that on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And if you're a rat, good luck.
Yeah.
If
for
you're
sure.
a rat, it's a good luck thing because it's like, you gotta put out some great quality music for people to forget that. Because people haven't forgot.
Yeah.
People just sleeping on it because they want to know the truth and that the trial's not done yet. So if he's truly, which I think, I don't know what to think, to be honest, because I have no perspective on it.
I think that was unique though. Like whether you like the album or not, it's just like his presence was felt at the club with like one of the biggest hits this summer. Like I just felt like that was just a way of saying like, you know what, you can't. I don't give a fuck what box you guys want to put me in. I'm in this.
What if I tell you that I have this feeling that hit was made with Gunna before anything happened, and he was just waiting for that hit?
I don't think so.
I don't think that hit was made after he got out of jail. I think that was a song that was just
I've never thought of it. I'll be
boom,
honest.
just tucked into the vault, ready
Could
to
be.
come out. That's just the feeling I got. Yeah, I got that feeling because I'm like, yo,
But I feel like the
such a good hit.
Yeah, but it flowed really well with the rest of the album, and there's no way he made that album pre-jail. Also, the transition from Fuck You Mean to Rodeo Drive is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
The transitions on that album in general are crazy. Like
yeah,
I
that's
don't
the production.
yes, but usually I feel like if you, let's say if you made that 2 years prior and then you're making this album now, like you could, like, I feel like it kind of stands out. Maybe not.
That would be a year before.
Yeah.
Because like Pushing P was literally just a year.
Yeah, but
like
why wouldn't
9 months before?
Why
they got
wouldn't
caught
he
up.
have dropped it before? He had Pushing P. Like he didn't know he was
That's
gonna get
what I'm saying.
arrested.
No, because Pushing P was so big that why would, if I have back to back,
Yeah, I guess.
it'd be like, yo, this year I dropped, yo, next year I have another record.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. Drake dropped God's Plan in like November or some shit, and then stayed #1 till like March, April.
Yeah.
And then Kiki came on. Well, the song's called Do You Love Me? Or is that the name of the song?
I can't remember.
I think so. But you know what I'm talking about. Like Kiki,
Yeah.
Do You Love Me?
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. I can't remember what that was called.
And that took God's Plan away. Like that was the record that took. So if you look at it, it's like, yo, 9 months, Pushing P was like boom, 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 boom. And then I dropped a song like that just before, if I didn't get arrested, I drop a song like that. I'm fucking eating for another like 5 to 6 months
Yeah.
off that one record. Because that one record really took the whole summer. You know what I mean? I don't know. Again, this is just a theory. It's not, I don't know. It's not facts. I don't want any ATL people to come and be like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, this is just my theory. I have a feeling the artists do stash record. Like Drake had hits that were sitting in his vault. They just have to come out very strategically. And great artists know how to do that. Where they'll have hits.
Yeah, you definitely have to
and
hoard.
they'll know how to create albums
If you're
within
smart.
that sound. Like you have to. And that's not just you. That's not just the artist. That's on your whole team. That's on your producers.
Yeah, for sure.
Your sound engineers, everybody.
I
Yeah.
feel like on that whole album, he was just rapping with a vengeance. Like you could tell he was.
He's definitely he was like, yo, I agree with you.
He was
saying,
mad. He was mad. Rightfully
You
so.
guys want to
He's
talk shit
definitely
about
pissed.
me? You want to say that I'm a rat?
Yeah, bread and butter. You could tell he was pissed on bread and butter.
You're right.
Yeah.
He was cheese.
But he like figured out how to make it work for him.
I think the comeback will be after the trial.
Yeah,
That's why I don't
fair.
think this is a comeback.
But
I feel like you're right though. What you said is the way they handled it.
but also take in for this
Was, like,
album,
10 out of 10.
like he
Maybe
was
9 out of 10.
he was so close with Wheezy. Wheezy dropped him. Like he didn't have his main producers. Him and Turbo are still obviously close. Turbo's
Yeah.
like his main one.
Turbo
did a lot of the production on that album, but him and Wheezy were.
I know.
What was that one? Fuck, the one with Future.
But also like Wheezy's like really with like myself.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, imagine as an artist, like, if you are used to working with certain people.
It's so tough.
Not only do you have, like, the general sentiment of, like, the public hates you, but then, like, people in the industry don't fuck with you either.
Yeah, when your people turn
people that might have helped
you,
people that might have helped you with your previous
when your
albums.
own people turn their back on you,
It's different.
It hurts a lot more.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, he had so many things stacked against him, so to be able to still, what I was, like, curious about was, like, is this album still gonna sonically, like, match the bar of your previous albums?
Definitely
and I
did.
really feel like it did. I feel
Definitely
like
did.
he was always very good with his beats. He chose really good beats for his style of rapping.
Yeah, I love that
he
about him.
glides over a fucking beat. Like, he just knows how to make his flow just, like, work so well with the beat. Like, and I would say Lil Tecca, like, bounces on the beat, and he just, like, glides over the beat, and it's, like...
smoother, I feel.
You need the two work so well together. There's some rappers where the beat is kind of, like, in the background, and you're so focused on, like, their cadence and their delivery, because they're just going off. Gunna, it's, like, it's...
He just flows.
Yeah, he's a perfect harmony with the beats he chooses.
Yeah.
That's his strength.
He's really good. I'm telling you, I think if he's not a rat, he's gonna become that guy. He's gonna take over.
Anyone who's close to me has heard me going to Gunna rant at least once. For sure.
I like Gunna. I think Gunna was always... I just made fun of him one time. Like, you like listening to rats? He's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. I literally
It's
said the
great
same thing.
music.
I was like, I don't give a
And it's
fuck.
like-
Bump Gunna.
This is the thing. It's like, I get it. That's why a lot of people even said it with Tekashi. They said, I don't give a
I don't
Okay,
know
but
him
his
personally.
music, okay, but that's
I don't
a
know him
different...
personally.
For you, yes. But I'm saying the people that said that is that they enjoy Tekashi's music.
Okay, fair.
Me and you don't.
I don't enjoy. No.
Tekashi's music.
No.
But there were young kids that enjoyed his music that were like, you want me to care that this guy's snitch? What do I care about? Like, I like his music.
Okay, but he, like, confirmed snitched.
Yeah, of course. He snitched, but, like, that's the guy that really is not a thug. Like,
Yes.
He's not from that.
Yes. Yeah, but you know what? Gunna also... I don't think Gunna grew up in the same life as Thug did.
Gunna didn't. And Lil Baby. Gunna actually was, like, the
I think
money
Lil Baby...
guy.
I think Lil Baby was a little more...
Lil Baby's in the life.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't grow up like Thug and Lil Baby.
Yes, he didn't.
Lil
He
Baby
didn't.
and Thug were, like,
Yes.
in the streets,
Yes.
trapping.
Gunna was not in the streets.
Gunna was never trapping.
Yeah.
Gunna just had money. He figured out how to make money, and, like, he just came around the right people.
Yeah, I think Thug brought him under his wing pretty early.
Yeah. He just came around the right people.
Yeah.
Yo, Gabby Kupiski. Album of the year 2023.
Hold on. Before we go into that, I want to ask her one quick question, because, you know, we're in Toronto. We're on Dundas Street. Mm-hmm. Dundas Street is fucking, you know, it's a iconic street in the city for rappers. There's a lot of bars here. There's a lot of venues that people have performed across Dundas Street West. What is your perspective or your opinion on the Toronto scene, the hip-hop scene in Toronto?
I don't think I'm, like, as knowledgeable as some other people on the Toronto scene. I've definitely listened to Toronto rap and do have Toronto rappers that I listen to.
Like?
Pangs. Pangs is good.
Shout out Pangs.
Doobie.
Doovy's sick.
Houdini, R.I.P., but Houdini was really good too. Houdini was great.
Houdini was sick. Did you like Smoke?
I did like Smoke. Smoke Dog was good too.
No, Smoke Dog. You know what's crazy with Houdini? Houdini, I had one of my friends in L.A. that at the time was driving Uber in L.A. Houdini gets in the car with him. Him and Houdini shoot the shit. This guy
Oh my
becomes his
God.
driver for the whole day.
Stop.
Right? He's FaceTiming me, and he's like, hey, yo, bro, I got this young cat from Toronto. Like, do you know him? I'm like, who? What's his name? He's like, Houdini. I was like, yeah, like, this guy's catching hype in the city. And he's like, all right, cool. Like, they just went to the mall real quick. He's just buying a 1-2. When he hops out, I'm going to call you and, like, I'm going to do the introduction. And I think it was, like, his right-hand man with him. I forgot his name. He calls me, and Houdini just takes the thing, and we start talking. And, like, he hears my accent right away. He's like, oh, you from Toronto. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm from here. Maybe 2 months later, I heard the news, and I was so heartbroken.
Yeah, it's so sad.
I was so heartbroken. I was like, man.
I feel like I started listening to his music, like, not that long before he died.
Me too.
Yeah, and I was,
And
like,
his
listening to a lot of
trajectory
his music.
He
Yeah.
was supposed to be
He was good.
that guy from Toronto.
Yeah.
Like him and Smoke Dog, those two They were supposed to be those guys. I think they would have broke
Smoke
out.
Dogg had a lot of cosigns too from like rappers outside of Toronto.
Yes, Smoke Dogg was even co-signed in the UK.
Yeah, he was.
They loved him in the UK because that's where Drake took him on tour for Boy Meets World tour, and it was in the UK. He took him and who was the other? I think it might have been Roy Woods. Him and Roy Woods and someone else on tour because it was 3 opening from Toronto when he went to England or when he went to Europe, and one of them was Smoke Dogg. But it's sad to see that both of them are kind of gone.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it is. There's like, unfortunately, when people are talented in Toronto, they either leave because there's not an infrastructure here to like really build a solid career, in my opinion, or they end up dead. Unfortunately,
which is so sad.
Very sad.
We need more time in Toronto. We need to be more patient with Toronto. But like the one thing that I keep telling people, and it's really simple. It's not very complicated. It's a numbers game. Everything is about numbers. We don't have enough numbers here.
Yeah.
We have 36 million people that live in Canada. Look how big Canada is. The UK has probably like 70, 80 million people. Like the UK, there's a lot more people. It's just, they really all live on top of each other over there. That's why the houses are so close. Then you go to America, it's like, they have 10 times what we have.
They do.
Literally 10 times, bro. They're at like 365 or some shit like that. Or like 56, whatever the fucking is. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's a lot. We will never have that unless in the next 10 years we bring in 10 million a fucking year, which is impossible. You're not going to bring in 10 million people a year for us to have a big enough of numbers to actually have success come out of it.
I think that is so true, and also the fact that anyone who's successful leaves, like Atlanta, obviously Atlanta wasn't always this kind of like huge rap ecosystem, but
it's a big hub right now.
It's a huge hub right now, but if you're an up and coming, rapper, you're someone who's trying to rap in Atlanta, even 7 years ago, you still had Thug, you had like quality control was being built. It's like there were so many more opportunities for you to link with the right people, to be in the studio. Even someone like Thug was giving.
You're still in America though, no?
Yeah, for sure. But also, okay, so let's say Toronto, a lot of the rappers really are about that life, and that's why they end up getting killed.
Yeah.
And Atlanta, they are too. But Atlanta, they have like there is no one in Toronto that's gonna say, hey, don't go on the block today. Let me pay you to go to the studio. Go to the studio. And like give them the mentorship and the producers, that like they need. Whereas like Atlanta, you can potentially have access to that stuff. Just you don't even have to be from Atlanta. Even rappers from other like I think it was Skilla Baby or Rob 49 said something about like his cousin knew someone that was like connected. You know what I mean? There's just way more avenues where like all these people are somehow connected through like personal or family connections, or it's just easier to kind of like build those bridges, and then those help you like get further along. Where in Toronto, it's like, yeah, okay, even if they do get, like you said, a certain amount of streams for Toronto, you are still gonna be on the block doing what you were doing last year, the year before, because you don't have another way to make money.
Wow. Talk your shit.
Like it's unfortunately, and that is like I feel like that really is the roots of like rap and hip hop that I feel like younger listeners don't always necessarily understand, but like it was really a way out for a lot of people, and that's why so much of like the lyrical content is based on those stories and that life.
I agree.
And right.
Wow, that's a very good point. I like that point. I like that perspective.
Because I also think the quality of the music coming out of Toronto would be better if they had, but like they don't know. They're working with what they have, and what they have doesn't compare to what rappers in Atlanta and other. I can't think of.
Budget is so much better there.
100%.
That's again. It's like I'll go back to like a great point, but it's like again, they have money there. They have money because they know that these rappers that are in Atlanta, that
they know there's gonna be another kid that wants to be Lil Baby that maybe does actually have the talent to make it.
And then you can actually market yourself to 300 million people.
Yeah.
Whereas in here, you can't market, like you're not going to another state or another province to work with another rapper. Even though there's rappers in like Prince Edward Island or Newfoundland or Calgary or wherever, it's like you're not gonna do that. You know. We'll be right back with an intermission quick.
All right, we back. Welcome back to the Bigger Dream Show. We are back with Gabby. We're going to play a game called No Hesi.
Young Cece.
Oh, no.
Young Peasky.
What's the game?
Young Hesi.
No Hesi.
No Hesi.
Okay.
You got to answer my questions without hesitating.
Oh, I love hesitating.
And if you take longer than 2 seconds to answer,
yeah.
Young TT's going to page you. All right.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Pasta or pizza?
Pasta.
That was close. Tequila or vodka?
Tequila.
That's
Duh.
a silly question.
Tacos or sandwich wraps?
Tacos.
Ice Spice or Cardi B?
Ice Spice.
Toronto music or Atlanta music?
Atlanta music.
Leafs or Raptors?
Raptors.
Sandra Bullock or Jennifer Lawrence?
Jennifer Lawrence.
What the fuck?
Lil Baby or Gunna?
Gunna.
Hit Boy or Timbaland?
Timbaland.
Denzel Washington or Leonardo DiCaprio?
Denzel Washington.
Future or Young Thug?
Oh, come on. Future.
You fucked up.
Oh, that's like.
No Hesi.
It's like. Oh.
No Hesi.
Should have had a V8.
All right, we're gonna finish it off. To be honest, you were doing really well.
Thank you.
Kylie or Kim?
Kim.
Usher or Chris Brown?
Sorry? Usher.
or Chris Brown? 50 Cent or Pop Smoke?
Pop Smoke.
Boy Wonder or 40?
Boy Wonder.
Metro Boomin or Dre?
Metro Boomin.
Damn.
Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Southside or ATL Jacob?
Southside.
You almost stuttered.
That was close.
Gorilla or Coyle Ray? The Hood Miley Cyrus.
Gorilla.
What?
Gorilla. Not the Hood Miley Cyrus?
I don't know. I fuck with Gorilla.
That was one of my favorite, by the way. That was one of my favorite things Matt has ever said.
What?
Matt
Hood Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, we might have to pull it up for this.
Coyle Ray.
Hood Miley Cyrus.
The Hood Miley Cyrus.
I could. Yeah. Why? Because she's small?
Because she was twerking, with her
no
little
idea
ass.
why
True.
he called her that.
I think it's because she's small.
But it just made so much sense to me. And ever since then, I was like, yo.
Yeah, because she's not just small. Like, she's small and she, like, doesn't hesitate to, like I could see her on a wrecking ball.
Yeah, she's like viral. She's viral like that.
Yeah, totally.
Matt can tell you, like, I have the biggest crush on her. Like,
really? I think Coyle Ray's fire.
I have no idea where it came from. Do you know where it came from?
Yeah, because you never were like that. It was like recently.
It came so random, bro. Because at first, I hope, hey, listen, Pressa, you're cool, bro. I hope your people don't come after me.
Well, they broke up.
But no, that's not the thing. I used to say she's dating her twin brother.
Oh.
That was my whole thing. So I was just like, yo, what the fuck y'all doing? Like, this is like some.
Yo, if Sexy Red and Young Thug dated, that would be.
But that's how I felt.
That'd be some twin.
But that's how I felt about Coyle Ray and Pressa.
Yo, they look like siblings. That's crazy.
And then she dumped him, which, by the way, I think that was an industry.
For sure, that was an industry relationship.
And then when she dumped him, I was like, yo, she's actually fine as fuck. What the fuck?
She is. I think Coyle Ray's
Why
hot.
was he hiding all the? Yo, get the fuck out the picture, bro. Like, you ugly, but she actually fine as hell.
I fuck with Coyle Ray.
She just had a photo shoot the other day. Good God.
She gets too much hate for how small she is, though.
Baby girl, you're sexy the way you are.
But she's confident.
Just like I
she
love
kills
confident.
it. She
just
kills
like
it
I
with
like
confidence.
curve women, I like you too, all right? Keep doing your job. You're doing excellent.
Yo, she kills it with her confidence.
Okay, Cece really, Young Peasky really killed that. I'm not going to lie.
Why do people usually hesitate?
No, like you killed that game.
You just killed that.
Why?
You didn't hesitate that
Oh,
much.
okay. People usually
That
hesitate.
was very like boom, 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 boom. This is very new.
You told me the assignment. I tried to.
This is a very new thing that we've done.
Okay.
So it's like, it's really impressive of how what you answered.
You're with it.
Somebody might be true because they didn't hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
You almost did. You went with your lips like, ooh. I was like, oh.
Because in my head, I was thinking. I was literally hearing ATL Jacob's tag in my head. I was thinking ATL Jacob.
ATL Jacob. ATL Jacob.
And I was also hearing like Southside.
Wheezy out of here.
That's crazy.
but it was kind of funny.
Are we good?
That's
Yeah.
crazy. You're really like
good?
that.
It's like two extremes.
Yeah,
It's like
you're either one
I
side
either
or the
haven't
other.
cried in 3 months,
Yeah.
or I'm having like, you know, I'm having a tough time, and maybe
She's
it's
still trying to figure out her balance.
the
Yeah,
balance.
you remind me of me, actually. I'm very much like that.
Yeah.
I'm either on one side of the spectrum or the other.
Yeah, I'm not like a
you
week
a
by week
Cancer?
emotional person. Me? No, I'm a Pisces, so that's why when I mean
Oh my
not that's why, but like if you
God.
believe in astrology, Pisces are supposed to be very emotional. I
Those
don't
are
think.
fucking crybabies, bro.
Wow. Do I seem like a crybaby?
No, but I'm sure you had your phase. That's why you're a gangster now.
Well, I think crybaby.
I love you, bro.
I think crybaby is someone who cries over stuff that they don't need to cry over. I think when I cry, it's very valid. Like I have a very valid reason for crying, and there's like some real shit going on, and I'm not gonna cry for like, I don't know.
I've met some Pisces who are just crybabies.
Yeah, I'm not a crybaby like
Like,
that.
they're just like
someone
they're so
someone
sensitive
talks to me
about
stupid at the bar, I'm not crying. I'm fucking fighting you. Or I'm cussing you out.
See, but can you be sensitive? You can take a joke actually.
No, I can totally take a
Yeah,
joke.
you
And
can take a joke.
if someone that I don't know is like says something to me, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, that hurts so much. I don't know you. I don't give a fuck what you
I
think.
don't give a fuck. Bitch,
But
fuck out my face.
I'm gonna cuss you out for like not speaking to me with respect,
Yeah.
because you should be speaking to me with respect.
When's your birthday?
March 11th.
March 11th. Wow.
Yeah.
I know a couple people born on that day too.
Really?
Yeah.
I just like the number 11. So I
No.
like my birthday.
Nice.
Shout
It's a
my
good
guy
number.
Kyrie.
Oh, is that his
Shout
is
out.
that his number?
His number's 11 recently.
Sometimes too.
Sometimes.
Recently. I mean, 1 and 1 is 2. That's why he picked 11. I don't know if you saw that.
Actually,
But you don't know about numerology, so don't try to jump in this conversation, please. It's a tough journey for a lot of these guys, especially your favorite guy, Gunna. It can be a little tough journey. But with that said, you know, I think everything in life is tough to an extreme. Of course, certain scenarios are more tough, but life in general is not easy. There's ups and downs.
especially in media.
You know, I mean, in anything, but yeah, even for you, just like you're a server, you're a bartender. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You're a bartender, but you're also, you know, you have a full-time job as an editor. It can be a little stressful. You know, some 5'7" guys might get out of line. You gotta whip them back into shape. How do you deal with that stress that comes with that mental, you know, challenges or difficulties that can cause, you know, some sort of mental health issues?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean the 5'7" is definitely the least of my concerns, but
Yeah, of course, we know that because you train them.
yeah, I don't sleep. I don't sleep in general. I'm always like going to bed late.
That's not good.
That's not good.
I know, but that's
Why?
it's the life I chose. Cause like you said, I work
Me
all the
too.
time.
I'll be real. Lately.
Yeah, you
I
don't
work all
leave
the time.
club.
I'm a night owl. Okay,
Yeah.
rude. I do leave the club.
You leave the club late.
I'm a night owl. I think you know what, it's what you said. Like I also do freelance copywriting, not every single week, but
Nice.
that's a
I'm
whole.
trying to get into that.
I mean, I should quit it, but then I'm just like, it's extra money. But I feel like I also try to dedicate like social time as well. Like my friends are important to me, not just important to me, but like I would
You
lose
do
my
have
mind.
a social life too. Like
I do have a social
I
life.
don't know you that well.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I do follow you on Instagram, and I'm not creeping you, but I do see that you know, there's times you go out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Noura. You go out with Noura here and there, you know, or like whoever it is. So like you do have a balance still. You
Yeah.
think that helps you?
I think I just don't like. That's why I don't sleep. I need that balance because I feel like it's really hard to just go with work all the time. And I would say the biggest struggle with when it comes to like writing and stuff, it's really hard to tell someone to be creative from the hours of 9 to 5, 5 days a week. It's just not how creativity works, and that's not how like writing works either.
Yeah.
And like anyone who writes knows, like writer's block is a real thing. There's days where you just can't think of a single thing to say, or anything you write you hate. And I feel like so that ends up being, you know, you work late into the night, or like whenever you're having a flow, then you have to keep going. And like, I feel like I work really weird hours, and my job gives me that flexibility, and that's great. But it's that struggle of like the days where you just are not feeling motivated. You just kind of have to.
So on those days,
keep
you know,
going.
the days that like you're low on energy, you're not motivated, you know, things might have happened. You might have had a bad day at the club or a night at the club. You know, some man that might be acting up. What do you do? How do you deal with that? Is there like a routine or like something that you do? Like, I got made fun of, but like I write by the water sometimes when I'm like really like stressed. Or something.
Bro, don't make it funny.
I'm not letting it go.
Right
by the way.
water, all you.
No,
all
no.
you want, bro.
But yeah, like that's something like it's like I guess a coping mechanism.
I think
like
writing. I think writing your emotions is definitely a good stress release.
So you journal?
I don't. I don't like journaling. I have to be like really down bad to journal. Like I have to like really be like.
But you write a lot for like work, so it's like hard to write for like leisure.
I just don't like to write. Yeah, I don't.
You don't like to write, but you do.
Okay, same as how.
But it's you can be good at it, but you don't like it.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I don't. Okay, the same way I don't like sitting down and listening to emotional music. I don't like sitting down and writing about my emotions. Like,
Fair.
it's just not, it's just not me.
There's days that you
Hold on.
express.
You wouldn't go by the water and just like...
I wouldn't.
Pull out paper and pen?
I actually do really like, I think water is very therapeutic, but I probably wouldn't go by the
So
water to write.
You'll go by the water and like meditate or take a couple deep breaths?
No, I think I try to keep a
Down a
consistent
couple tequila
exercise. Yeah, that is one unhealthy coping mechanism that I've definitely indulged in before.
Yeah.
I try to consistently work out, which does help with mental health.
Nice.
How do you work out with limited sleep?
You just gotta
just do it.
Yeah, you just gotta find the energy.
No, you don't talk to her.
Find
bro.
the balance.
Her go-to artist when she breaks up with people is Future, bro.
You listen to Future in the gym?
Questions.
Yeah,
of course she does.
Of course I listen to Future in the gym.
Where else? Like she put on. She was supposed to be the DJ here.
Okay, I was closing the bar. I wasn't supposed to be the
bar
DJ.
Was closed?
No, I was pouring people drinks.
So you're telling me.
Right.
So you're telling me like your first dance at your wedding is gonna be Percocet and stripper joints?
She not thinking that far. She not even thinking about first dance, let alone a wedding.
Wow.
Oh,
right now?
I'm not.
Don't listen. Don't put me to be the bad guy.
No, I'm not.
I don't know you that well.
I'm not.
But I know you.
I'm not, but it definitely wouldn't be, if I was to get married, it wouldn't be like a corny, typical.
Has that even crossed your head?
No, I don't think about marriage. But that
has a relationship crossed your head?
I've been in many relationships.
Recently?
My last relationship was like 7 months ago, 8 months ago.
Is that when Young Meeks laughed at you?
No. No. That was over something else. That was over something else.
Shout out to Mika, man. That's
Shout
my girl.
Shout out to Mika.
I love her big time.
I would say that the marriage thing is because I just didn't grow up in a 2-parent household. So like I didn't see that. It's like I feel like anyone who, or even if you're a child of divorce, which I wasn't, it's not the same thing as people who grow up being like, oh, I want what my parents had. I don't want what my parents had.
I don't want my parents had.
Respectfully.
And I really love my parents, and they
still
together.
Yeah, it's a foreign concept to me, and it's not something that I see as like I'm much more motivated about like my career and just enjoying what I do.
That's how I feel. I feel like I'm just gonna have like I'm gonna get married, but like
I feel like
divorced.
a lot of people our age have these thoughts, but like to hear it verbally is like.
I feel like I'm really unapologetic about that. I really don't give a fuck about what.
That's
what you're supposed to.
Montreal. That's a Montreal.
Maybe it's a Montreal.
Yeah. Did I say it right? Montreal.
Montreal.
Montreal. Yo, I'm fucking sick with this.
I don't know if you said it right.
Imagine, I didn't even study French. Y'all lucky I was an immigrant when I came.
But I would say the biggest mental health coping mechanism is therapy. I've been in therapy for a long time.
You do therapy?
I do therapy.
How often?
Once every 2 weeks.
Nice.
But I started therapy at a young age, so I feel like it wasn't. Again, a lot of people are weird about therapy, but when I decided to go back in my early 20s, like as an adult, it just wasn't a weird concept to me. It wasn't weird to sit across from a stranger. And
do you recommend it?
1000%. I recommend it if you're open to it. I don't recommend it if you're going in with the mindset of like, oh, I'm going to try to therapize my therapist, or like, what is my therapist going to teach me? I've literally heard people say that.
I don't like people like that.
How about there's a lot of people who watch the show and like maybe they're interested in the idea of it, but they don't know where to start. Like, how would you recommend someone starting?
Yeah.
There are
that
like.
That was my question.
If you
I don't know where to start.
If you live in Ontario, I think you can just Google it. There's like an Ontario psychotherapist recommendation kind of like website. I can't remember what it's called. I can find it, but that was how I found my therapist. And they basically ask you questions like gender, race, like all these things of like, what do you want in a therapist? You can also do someone who's like still a student, so it's a cheaper rate because obviously therapy is expensive. So I think when I first started seeing mine, it was something like $60 or $80 an hour, probably $60 an hour, and then obviously over the years
so you
it's
got
increased. You do have to have.
Give me $100.
Okay, but this is another thing too.
Give me $100, bro. You got money.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So do you. You work here.
Go on.
This is another thing too. I feel like when people aren't open to therapy, like I've had friends go and do 3 sessions and be like, yeah, but I'm spending like $150. Like I could just spend this on something else. And it's like therapy is not like an overnight solution. I feel like me doing it for years, I feel like I've really seen the benefits of it recently, but that was after like so many hours, and like it's not.
You've been there for like longer than 7 years, you would say?
I started therapy when I was 13. I think I was in and out of therapy in high school. I don't think those years did anything for me because I think I was in the thick of the trauma that was gonna shape my whatever patterns. When I went back when I was 22, I think that was a good jumping off point, but I was still I was lacking a lot of self-awareness, and I think I went right back into the same pattern, and then took a break, and then when I went back again for the second time, I was like, I think that was like when I really started to like make some breakthroughs in terms of like. How old were you when you came back the second time? 25, I think 25.
Okay, so you'd say in the last 2 years you made a much bigger impact and progress. The
TLDR therapy is like everything starts with your childhood. Whether you want to believe that or not, it does. And then self-awareness, you need self-awareness. You're never, so many people are not self-aware, but
I feel like you are self-aware.
I'm very self-aware.
Yeah. I get that a lot from
I get the vibe
like
too.
the first early days when I met you.
Well, maybe that's thanks to therapy.
I do think you're self-aware. That's
Thanks.
one thing I'll look like if somebody asked me, I would say, yeah, Gabby's self-aware.
But I would say self-awareness is not easy, but it's like, okay, self-awareness is like, okay, you know, maybe I can call myself out on stuff more now because I am self-aware.
Okay.
But putting that self-awareness into practice in terms of like actually changing your behavior and changing your thought patterns and trying to like rewire your brain based on like what you have done for however many years is really hard. And that's a lot harder than gaining that self-awareness. But you need the self-awareness, and then it's about like consciously being like, okay, I'm doing this. Let's maybe try to do something different, and like doing that again and again and again and again until, you know, not even until forever, but like slowly over time, I feel like I have definitely seen the benefits and the differences for myself.
It's amazing.
And that's why I feel like thank you. That's why I think it's worth continuing to do. And even if I have a week where I don't have, you know, something big to talk about or like something that I feel like I need to tackle, I'm still going to keep doing it every single 2 weeks, because then there are times where I'm crying to Mika every 3 days. And then when I do eventually have therapy, I can unpack it with my therapist. And it's a lot more beneficial than unpacking it with my friends. And that's no disrespect to friends. It's just like your friends aren't always self-aware. Sometimes your friends give you the worst advice ever.
100%.
You know, your friends shouldn't be your barometer for like what is right or wrong.
They might not fit that situation.
Exactly.
They might not
even they need their own situation.
Your friends can't be unbiased the way a therapist can, and a therapist is literally trained in like self-develop, like helping people develop in psychology in a way that your friends are just never going to be.
Which is dope. And you know what? Maybe a lot of people are watching this episode, and this is the end of the episode, and they're like, wow, like she has such a good head on our shoulders. And like, you know, maybe therapy has a big reason why she's like the way she is. So, you know, thank you for, you know, coming on the show, sharing your perspective, and like, you know, I feel like
I know like a new Gabby now. It's like a different Gabby that I know. Kind of excited.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. Honestly, I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, this is an amazing episode.
You know, like you did it. You didn't question too much, and you just said, "Hey, I'm gonna do this." It was very quick. Like, yeah, I would love to do that. Thank you. Your energy was beautiful. Aww. Again, thank you guys.
Shout out by Ben.
Shout out Libertine. Are we still recording? Shout out to Yelda. Shout out to Phil. Shout out to Mika, because I love Mika.
We love Mika.
Much love.
We do love Mika. And shout out to Rap TV, too. Got to give them a shout out. TV. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for you.
Shout out Gabby QP
for the whole gang over there.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Love.
Bigger dreams. We out.